The 105th National Football League season starts tonight, and it starts in your city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Not even the biggest meatheads today can dampen the excitement of what is going to happen tonight. It's the start of the NFL. Friday, also, by the way, you got a game down in Brazil. You got Kansas City and Chargers. Some outstanding week one NFL games on Sunday, Monday night as well. Welcome aboard. Do me a favor, guys, please. Hit that like button here on game day. It's not just opening day. It's game day opening day, right? It is game day opening day. Nothing in the world can make you feel bad about the start of the NFL. Zero. No person, nobody can get you upset about tonight. Start of the NFL season, man, and you also get a chance to celebrate for about 5 seconds 2024 as you put really probably, what is it? This is the final chapter in the 2024 season, right? The dropping of the banner. And then you move on. This closes up the door on it. Tonight closes the door for the fans. The players have already, and the organization have already moved on, right? They've already moved on. Tonight, this is for the fans to move on and look at 2025. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right out of the gate. Go. How about them Cowboys? Holy cow. How about them Cowboys, says Joseph. Holy cow here, man. Right? Way to go, Joseph. Super chats go to the top, as you see. Right out of the gate, it is Cowboys and Eagle fans going after one another. I love it, man. We're going to get to you what I think happens in tonight's game. We like to do it at the front end of the show. And also, we give it to you a little bit at the back end of the show, what we think happens tonight. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Oh, and by the way, as we posted on my X account, the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles were in talks of trading for Michael Parsons. What? Sileo, you're just a clickbait guy. You're full of shit. Well, it was true. Sills, I feel Dakota will expose our defense tonight. Woo! This team doesn't look focused. I got the Cowgirls, 34-17. Howie trolled. Okay? Please excuse my grass cutter. Folga, the Cowboys, says Twiz in a very English way. Fuck the Cowboys. I'm not really sure that's swearing. Okay, the Cowboys. That's just, fuck them. All right. I'm good with that, Twiz. Cowboy fans, I know you're in here, my friends. Hey, Sills, any chance of RPO plays tonight? I think you're going to see a little of that. You might even see fullback tonight. So wait a minute here. How come when I say it, you call me a bullshit artist? When Adam Schefter posts it, oh, storyline? I mean, Michael Irvin's on today at 3:30. Where the fuck you think we got it from? Who do you think we got this stuff from? Well, let me guess. Bob in Poughkeepsie? I mean, what? No. Hey, John in Harrisburg called me and told me, hey, Sills, did you see what the Cowboys want? Yeah. Hey, how's Harrisburg doing? Pretty good. I mean, where do you think I get this shit from? I get this from people who are around Jerry and Steven. Okay? Those are the people that have been on this program, that have talked on this program, that have given us insight. Here's what the deal was. Remember what Jerry Jones said? Remember what he said. It is foreboding Verboten. Herr Mayor. Yes. Ich sprechen Sie Deutsch. Yes. Sie. Wait, no, not Sie. Okay? Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Yes. One shoulder, Smith, Ketchup, Hunt. Not that good. God, they're coming out of the gate here. Man. So wait a minute here. Here's what happened. So Howie Roseman did make a call to try to trade for Michael Parsons. And to John's credit, John McMullen, John said that Howie's been trying. Howie tried for Myles Garrett, and he tried for Michael Parsons. Here's what Jerry said, though, before the conversation even went further. You had to put in Jordan Davis or you had to put in Jalen Carter. And Howie said no. Now, would you have gone 2-1s in Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis? I don't know. I think that screws up your defense. A week before the start of the season, they'd lost so many good players on that team. Look, Jordan Davis is not a frontline star player in this league. He's not. However, he's essential in your run defense. And he's essential in keeping them birds off of Jalen Carter for people double teaming him. I don't think you get rid of it. Okay? I mean, reported by Adam Schefter how he called for the trade. I asked Stephen and Michael Irvin. By the way, ask Michael when he gets on here. It was for one of the two defensive tackles. And Howie said, no way. Howie wanted to try to trade, but I wonder who it was. Was it Nolan Smith? Was it Cooper DeJean? Was it Quinyon Mitchell? Was it Zach Bond? You weren't just going to go like this. Here's Andrew Makuba and Adoree Jackson in 3-1s or 2-1s. That's not what was going to get that deal done. You have to think superstar. No, get this. Moro Ajomo? Bro, I'm not trading for Moro Ajomo with Parsons. Absolutely not. Moro Ajomo has done jack shit in this league. Moro Ajomo, really? No, thank you. And that's probably what ended the deal. Howie wasn't moving off the two guys inside. Bro, think about it. You got the 9th pick and the 13th pick tied up with those guys. That's pretty high, big draft choices. You got two guys, one in the top 10 and the other guy in the top 15 picks? No way. No way. Okay? None. By the way, he has not had the career so far that Kenny Clark has had. He's better than Kenny Clark. Yeah. And he says the guy who plays 23% of the game is better than Kenny Clark. Hey, try staying on the field, RC3. That would be a big upgrade for the Eagle defensive line this year. If he could play a little more than a quarter of the series and a quarter of the plays that they play on defense, don't you think? RC3 thinks that guy is that good that he plays 23% of the defense. Now, I agree with Howie not getting rid of him. Okay? I agree that guy, I think he's too instrumental in the run D. You can't take him out of that lineup. Look, I'll tell you one thing that's happened here. With the movement of Thomas Booker and with the trade, with his name being involved in it, or Jalen Carter for Michael Parsons, I think the value of Jordan Davis right now is climbing. And if he has a great year this year, he is going to get that $18 million. And then what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to revamp on what you're thinking. Are you really going to spend $65 million on 2 D tackles? Happy game day, bro. You too, man. Baby Jesus, please let Jalen Carter bless Dak Prescott with one holy punch tonight. Go Birds. Dallas sucks. Go Birds. Great one, man. I love this guy here, man. Me and him go back and forth, but we are boys, and it is game day. Hey, Sills, did you read the Cowboys saying, why you always living in the past? I'm not sure what the fuck you're talking about, douchebag. It's tonight. Hey, Matt, the only person that concerns yourself with me living in my past is your mom. Once again, tell your mom to come over, pick her shoes up. She left them under my bed last night. Let's see here. Who cares? Jeffrey's willing to put up the money. This guy's always talking money. You were talking money this year too. What are you talking about, dog? All you talked about was money. Okay? All you talked about was dough. Howie, I got to save money here. Got to save money there. I got to save money for him. I got to save money for him. Okay? I mean, right? Hey, I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea. That guy comes in here every day and says, why are you talking about I don't know if I mentioned anything. But then again, you got to remember something, James. There's people that just come in here just because they have nothing better in their life to do but to come in here and see if they can get my attention. Imagine that. You're a dude in life and you got to try to get another man's attention. Kind of weird. Hey, right. Living in the past. What's he talking? I want smart people in here today. It's game day. So let's get to what I think happens tonight. Here we go. Give me some scores tonight. Give me some scores. Some scores tonight. Let's do a call in for the Bounty Bowl. Somebody take out the caking specialist. All right, 31-20. That, Andrew, is where I'm at. 27-13. 34-17, Dallas. Whoa, pump. Whoa, pump. Pump's got an upset. I got to put Brian Pump. Brian Pumper, let me say something to you here, bro. If you get that right, man, is that going to start your 2025 NFL season off in a big way here? 27-24, who? 36-28, who? 27-24, who? You got to tell me who you're taking. Cowboys 51, Eagles 3. Whoa. All right. Khalid, go effing birds. How you doing? 31-24. Okay? Here's Spike or Spit or whatever. Pumper is wanted to set. Oh, he wanted to set at the Blue Oyster. What? I'm pumped up today, Big Sills. Any particular matchup that you're looking for? I want to see Steen versus OC and Ajomo versus Booker, 28-17. The Birds. All right. Swiss cheese defense is coming. All right. Xander asked me, who am I picking? Here we go. Eagles, Cowboys. There is no question heading into this football game that the Philadelphia Eagles, on paper, have the best roster heading into this game. There's just no getting around it. Especially on offense, their significant unit is so far ahead of Dallas. I mean, Dallas has some good matchups against some of the weaknesses, I think, of the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles. I think both of them have a little bit of, I think there's a matchup issue for Philly, and I'll get to it here in a minute. Now, a lot of this is going to be because of week one. You just absolutely don't know what you're looking at with week one. You've got a new, not so much a play caller, but you got a guy who's got complete autonomy over the offense now. And he's going to be the head football coach with his own decisions and not Mike McCarthy. So this guy is going to be making his own calls in his own field, Brian Schottenheimer, and how he wants to play call. There's no way in hell that Vic Fangio has any idea what he's going to look at tonight with what this play caller. Same thing with Kellen Moore a year ago. What was the one big advantage that Kellen Moore had a year ago that other coordinators defensively didn't have? Kellen Moore wasn't a run coordinator. He became one. That football team was not a passing team throughout the regular season whatsoever. They tried it. They tried to do the motions early, and it failed. Their passing game failed in the first 4 weeks. It failed. You can say they evolved into something else. That's not true. They failed because of the turnovers in the passing game in the first 4 weeks. So what did they do? He evolved into being a run coordinator. The majority of those plays each and every single week were run-oriented based off the run game. The last time the Cowboys played, I think when Jalen was on the field, he threw 20 attempts. I think he was 14 of 20 for 202, 2 touchdowns and a pick the last time he played the Cowboys. Nothing exceptional. 20 attempts. I mean, you don't need that, obviously, when you've got a 2,000-yard back. I get it. I don't know how much is going to change from that dynamic. So I think here the Cowboys DTs, I don't believe that Landon Dickerson's 100%. If I were the defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, and I were the Dallas Cowboy defensive coaches, I don't believe Landon Dickerson. 2 surgeries back, and plus you have Steen. I think they've got 2 good defensive tackles. I want to see how that plays out. I'm not telling you that. And for the record, I don't think Steen's that good. I don't. You think it. I don't. Even Jason Kelsey said a year ago, he didn't play that well. Every time he got in there, he was up and down. I don't think he's that good. I think he's okay. And he's going to be wedged in between Cam Jurgens and Lane. And it's going to hide a lot of his problems. Sliding of his feet. He's not very stout. Remember the one thing that Barrett Brooks used to say about him? He'd like to tie him to a chair and kick his ass for about a year and toughen him up a little bit. That's also an issue. By the way, I'm not suggesting that Dallas has superior D tackles. But they're pretty good in there. And that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Is their D tackles versus the interior? I don't care what you say. He's 100%. That doesn't mean that, okay, he's 70% in a game like this. I'm still thinking that I'm going to test that if I'm the Cowboys. I'm going to run stunts. I'm going to run T-crosses on him. I want to see if he can move that knee around. That's how coordinators do it. So as I've watched too much football to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. The Eagles are distracted. We're doing lifetime specials and autobiographies. I got it, man. I know all of that. I don't really think it's got anything to do with off the field interest in what the Eagles have. I just think it's got a lot to do with 18 new faces on your team. Every year, there's 18 new faces with the Buccaneers. There's 18 new faces on your 53-man roster this year. I think it's got more to do with that. And also the fact that they had a short work year. I mean, when you're done in late February or middle February, it's rushed. It just seems the Eagle offseason was rushed. I don't think they did anything horrible. I don't think they did anything exceptional. But you're the champs. How much do you have to do? How many holes are there? I heard a little bit of Sal Palantonio last night. I think he's fucking crazy if he thinks that Dory Jackson, there's going to be no drop-off from Darius Slay or having Gardner Johnson. Who would think that Sidney Brown and Dory Jackson are going to not have a drop-off in talent? There's a reason those two dudes were second-team guys. Those guys are not those players. You got to drop off just in that. Shit, you got to drop off in linebacker. on what Dean did a year ago with those 130 tackles. I disagree with that. Just because you can plug new spark plugs in, that doesn't mean that engine's going to run the same. That's ridiculous. You had high-octane guys last year who made great plays a year ago. Again, that'll be played out in a couple hours here. So we shall find out. Look, I'm still going here. Pump, I'm still going 31-21. 31-21. I've got the Eagles winning. I just don't see it. Now, here's something to keep in mind. I think those D tackles of the Cowboys, they're good. And I'm not talking about Kenny Clark. I don't know how much they're going to get him up to speed in this game, how much of a package he'll be able to play. He'll probably play in a lot of base, but I would say that he's probably going to be the third rotating tackle inside there. You want to get him on first and second down and probably pull him and put their pass rushing tackles in there for this game tonight, but I don't know how much he could play on nickel. More complex stuff, right? But I would also say this. There is no doubt, in my opinion, the Cowboy passing game has the advantage over the Eagles secondary. 4 guys play back there. 2 are questionable. 2 are very good. I think the Cowboys have 3 good wide receivers. I think Turpin could make a problem back there. I'm not telling you that they're going to win the game. I'm just saying if they're not communicating well, okay, and they're not communicating in the secondary, and they're not understanding what's going on, they're going to get beat. Not beat in the game on the scoreboard, but there's going to be plays that are going to be made. Dak's going to get this. You're not playing against Jalen. Okay? And the question also will come down, who's pressuring Dak? Is Jalix Hunt really the guy? Well, we'll find out. Is Nolan Smith the guy? We'll find out. That shit's over with. The guesswork's done. We're going to wait and see tonight. I don't think Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith are going to get a lot of pressure tonight. You know why? I think the Cowboys, from what I'm understanding, they're going to get the ball out of Dak's hand quick. And it's going to get into rhythm passing. You know why it's easy to do that against Vic Fangio's defense? Because he plays zone. You give him the space. Now, open field tackling will be an essential part of this. If the Eagles are good in their tackling and their techniques tonight, it shouldn't be a problem. But if they have, and they're playing too far off the ball, and they put Q in a tough position, having to come down to the slot and cover CD, there's going to be wide open space if those backers ain't dropping good enough where you're going to make plays. Once again, I'm not saying they're going to make plays that are going to win the game. Remember something here with Dallas. Dallas wants to get to the fourth quarter. With this being a 3 or a 1-score game, the Eagles want to put them away and take any hope away immediately. What would you do? You would run the ball. I'm telling you, if I'm Dallas, I don't defer. I take the ball. I don't want Philly having the ball and taking 10 minutes off the clock in the first quarter and putting 7 up on me. And when I get the ball back, I've got 5 minutes of the first quarter. Fucking game's almost over. I mean, you can't let them do that. I'm worried about Sidney more than cornerback 2. Yeah, because Brown can't tackle in space. He can't tackle. J-Mac said, Nick really might not know it's banner night. Come on, Johnny. No. What I say, JD3, is that Nick doesn't give a shit about banner night. That's what he should have said. And I think the Philly fans would have appreciated that more, going, I don't give a shit about tonight dropping the banner. Okay? Instead, he tried to play the political right. I didn't know what you know what? It was more that. But again, guys, tonight, for the players, they don't give a shit about that banner. You don't give a shit about your rings. You don't give a shit about anything you've done. You got the Dallas Cowboys in front of you. I'm going to make something to you. And to John McMullen's point, I'll give you this. When you're winning football games and you're playing in a season, I can't tell you how many times I used to look over at my coaches and go, "What's our record?" I had no idea what our record was. You kind of have an idea that if you haven't lost, I mean, are you 6-0, 4-0, 4-1? I know we got a loss somewhere in there. Sometimes you don't even know what your record is. And your coaches have to tell you because you're so zoned in on what you're doing for that respected week. That's a true statement. So the players are more like that. They don't give a shit about tonight. They're going to think it's kind of cool, but they're not going to sit there and go, wow, okay, look, they're dropping a banner. We got to wait a couple. As a matter of fact, tonight's a nuisance for the players. It's just a nuisance. Fuck that. Let's go. I want to go play. Great. Let's go play. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a nuisance than anything else. So here's what I do. Is it possible Nick was being facetious about that? Nick have a personality? Highly unlikely. I mean, does that guy look like he has a personality to you? I mean, not really. Nick Sirianni cracking jokes. His daughter's funnier. That daughter that comes up and mimics him is classic. Funniest Sirianni in the building is his daughter. She's hilarious, and I love her. Every time she gets up there on that mic, and she's sitting there next to her dad. It's beautiful, man. One of the coolest things I've ever seen Nick do is that cool daughter of his. That was awesome. She's up there doing all the hand motions and everything. It's great. Anyway, if I'm Dak, here are my targets. I'm going after Jahad Campbell. I'm going after Brown, Makuba, who's ever at that safety spot. I'm definitely going at whoever's playing corner 2. I'm trying to stay as far away as I possibly can from Quinyon Mitchell. And you know what I want to do with Cooper DeJean? I want Cooper DeJean to have to make tackles in larger areas than he did a year ago. He didn't have to make gigantic tackles a year ago in open space because there was limited zone space back there for him to have to cover. They were so good in their drops. The 2 corners were excellent. The safety play was excellent. And there wasn't a lot of places to throw the football. Don't be shocked if you see Ferguson tonight, their tight end, have a big night tonight. 5 catches, 85 yards, some shit like that. Because why? They're going to test those backers out in their drops. That's what if I was Matt Eberflus. Here's something that you have to look at. Okay? And this is a Bill Belichick lesson. You go after people who are new. You go after people who have limited knowledge of what's being asked of them. That's why when I say it's nothing personal, Jahad Campbell's going to be a fabulous football player. But he don't know shit about how to play that defense yet. He has no clue. He has no understanding of how to play that defense, only on a chalkboard, not in an NFL football game. He has no idea. You can talk until you're blue in the face, until you get out there and play, until you see it yourself, and you see an NFL quarterback executing an offense, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So you're not even sure what you're seeing tonight. That will come. He'll get better and better and better and better. Again, I think that zone coverage and that zone defense will help and get him up to speed quicker because it's easier to learn pass protection, or I should say pass coverage in your drops because, again, you're not covering a man. You're covering a zone. So it's easier to cover a zone than it is a man. That's why those man cover corners all make those exceptional numbers. I mean, and I'm not telling you Q can't do it. He just doesn't do it. 98% of the time, he's in zone. He's not in man coverage. So, again, he plays in that zone, and there's going to be space underneath. Can Dak find it? I think this game's really going to come down to the 2D tackle play, and I really do think it's going to come down to, on the other side, if Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith can't generate pressure, Dak's going to have a night. Again, I don't think that's good enough still. But Dak will have a night. He'll have big numbers if you can't generate pressure. And if they have communication issues in the secondary, don't be shocked if you see a broken play go for for a touchdown for a plus 25er. And what I mean by a plus 25, the one thing that the Vic Fangio defense is guarded from, they don't like explosion plays. That's the plus 25. So, again, if Smith and Hunt, any one of those guys get hurt, then you're or nicked up, and they can't just be those two. And Ojulari and Uche can't be a rotating piece in that. You're going to have problems tonight. You're going to have problems. And once again, the Cowboy D tackles are not bad. They got a small advantage in there. And some would go, Sills, you think really that those two D tackles are going to handle Cam Jurgens and Landon and Steen? A non-100% Landon Dickerson and a Steen that I don't really think is all that hot and a really good center. Yeah, I think they're okay. I don't think they have a massive advantage. Their advantages are at the perimeter. The two tackles, OTs, Malata and Lane. Okay? There's no way Steen's going to give you the same production that Beckham gave you. Mekhi Becton was throwing guys out of the field, out of the bar. I don't believe that. Okay? I'm not talking about Mozzie Smith. He's not starting. Who in the world would think Mozzie Smith is starting on the Cowboys? He's not. So you think they can get the quick pass game going? That's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to do the intermediate passing three-step drops. And the defensive line is going to have to get their hands up. And I don't know. And again, remember something. You got short ends. You got small ends. And you got undersized defensive ends. Or your edge rushers. Especially Nolan. He's completely undersized. That's another thing. If I'm Dallas, all my run plays are going to be right at Nolan Smith. I don't believe that guy can hang up and hang in there. And he won't. That guy is not going to play 17 games this year. He is not. And I think if I'm Dallas, I'd run right at that dude. Right at him. But by the way, do I think he can play the run? I do. Do I think he can hold up to the run? I don't. I think there's a difference. Okay? Hear what I just said? I think he can play the run. I don't believe he can hold up against it. Some of these dudes in the chat must have had their heads with Joe Biden when they were too young. Too many weirdos. It's all good, man. It's game day. We're all good. He played 17 games last year. Did he really? Remember the games I saw him playing last year? I saw Josh Sweat and Brandon Grant playing last year as starters. I didn't see him until the back end of the season. What are you talking about, dude? And quite frankly, I saw him play well towards the end of the year. And at the end of the year, as usual, he went under the knife. Did he not? Every year he's been an Eagle. Has he gone under the knife? The answer, yes. Seals, do you think the red zone, that Fangio will blitz more this year? No, I don't. No. I think he believes in the front four getting after people. Once again, that's correct. The guy will not play 17 games this year. End of story. You'll be right or I'll be wrong. Hang in there. Okay? We shall see. You drafted him with an injury. You drafted him out of Georgia with an injury. Jihad and Carter will be throwing guys out of the club. Okay. Well, the Jihad comment is yet to be seen. Carter is the only one that you get the pass on that one. Jihad might have his head on a swivel. You don't know that yet. By the way, I mean, you just don't know that yet. It's a lot for a guy who's never played. We shall see. Steen would blow. Got nothing to do with me. Sills, you had Dean injured by week 3 last year. No, it wasn't week 3. It was week 17. I was off by 14 games, yes, but he ended up being on the injured reserve. So it was week 14 or was week 17? I forget because he missed the entire playoffs. They didn't really need him. Right? So I was wrong a couple weeks, like 14 weeks, something like that. Had him in week 3, so 14 games. You're right. But he did end up going under the knife and missing the rest of the season. If I'm correct, Green Bay lineman out of the game and a Washington lineman out of the game. That's a tough kid at his size. Not sure what you mean. Sills, what's harder as a defensive player? Anchoring to defend a run or pass rush? Anchoring to defend a run, especially when you've got a great offensive line. When you've got great offensive line and they can run the ball and you can't stop the run, there is absolutely no way. There is no way that you have any answers. He was hurt in the Packer game? Okay. He ended up on IR again, as predicted. You pass rushing, you put people in pass rush positions. It's easier to pass rush than it is to be able to play the run. Playing the run is hard. Say what you want about Steen, Sills. Well, I didn't. I took what Jason Kelsey said. But he'd be the best offensive lineman on Dallas. Not true. He's not better than Smith. Are you fucking crazy? You think Tyler Steen is better than Tyler Smith? Really? Where'd you get that from? Who told you that? That Tyler Steen is better than Tyler Smith? Do you really believe that? Nobody in the NFL believes that, but you, dude. And once again, Steen's been here 3 years. He better win that job. All right? I can't hate, but Tyler Smith, I know. The guy's a first-team All-Pro. This guy's trying to tell me a guy who's never started as the opening starter for a football team is better than an All-Pro guy? Dude, where are you getting that from? Or did you just make that up? Yeah, get this. Tyler Steen got moved inside. Dude, are you really telling me you think that dude Steen is better than Tyler Smith? Seriously. He's never started an opener. Zero debate. You think Booker will eat his word? Yeah. That is going to be something to keep an eye on. There may be a serious lesson being taught last night. Tyler Booker, listen, I respect the kid for trying to build this game up. But, dog, when you play against a guy like Jalen Carter, man, you better bring your lunch pail and your miner's hat. Because if you're talking shit on a guy like that, man, be looking out for a good head slap. I mean, that guy's going to work the shit out of you. Yeah, Tyler Booker talking crap on Jalen Carter. Why would you throw wood on the fire like that? I would not be going like this. If I'm playing against Mike Munchak or Bruce Matthews, I'm not going like this. I think those guys suck. I can't wait for my opportunity. Yeah, well, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go out there and work my ass off against them. I'm not saying that, but why would I put anything on a chalkboard for somebody? Seals, do you think the strength of the Eagles D-line will make up for the holes in the secondary? I don't think you're very strong in the edges. You haven't proven that yet. I think you're good in the middle. I think your triangle is going to be good. I think listen, here's what you want to see in tonight's game too. You want to see that Jahad Campbell had more snaps than Trotter. Trotter's not your future. Campbell's your future. Okay? He's your future. So by the end of the game tonight, you want him to have played more. That's a great sign. That means Vic's comfortable with giving him more responsibilities and more opportunities, and he'll continue to evolve and get better and better and better. As a matter of fact, my two guys, I wrote it down. My two guys to potentially win the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's Abdul Carter and this kid here. Okay? If Campbell plays well tonight, I'll know he'll be in the mix. And if he plays a lot more than Trotter, he'll be in that conversation. I think Abdul Carter is going to be a special player. I do. I've heard nothing but the Giant people just raving about this kid and how this guy looks the part. So now he's got to go out and do it. Okay? You don't get pats on the back for people talking highly of you in practice. That's not real football. But for me, man, I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on. I think the Giants are going to surprise teams this year. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team or anything, but if you go to sleep against that front seven, you're going to get your quarterback killed. They got people there, and they're getting better in the secondary. That defense is not shitty. You know, the run game's not great. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. I saw Jackson Dart now is the number 2 guy. That means Jameis Winston has been delegated to number 3. So they like the quarterback. That means the quarterback's going to play. Sometime this year when Russell Wilson's struggling, Jackson Dart's getting in. I want him to get in. I've said it since he got drafted. If I'm the Giants, I start him. Okay, they want to try to win games. So I get it. And they want him to watch how you prepare for a football season the same way that Alex Smith was in front of Mahomes in Kansas City. It's a smart way to develop a quarterback. Brian Dable helped develop Josh Allen. And they're going to do it the same way. So, okay. I mean, you know, and like I said, by the way, they have a better front four than maybe anybody in the NFL right now. Across that board, they're great. Thibodeau, Lawrence, Burns, Abdul Carter. It's the best defensive line in football. Now, again, they're not very good in their O-line, and they're not very good in their back end. They're getting better. And they don't have really any playmakers outside of Malik Neighbors. So we'll see. But they're going to give teams a tough game. You walk in there against the Giants, you're going to get beat. They're going to get beat. So what I want to see tonight is communication on the defensive side. So, just curious. You guys moved the goalpost on me 17,000 times this offseason. No Reed Blankenship contract? Or hours before the game? What happened? I told you they were going to give it to him in March. What happened? I told you also, they ain't paying that guy $15 million. Okay, Hollywood. So do they give him the contract before kickoff? All you guys were telling me, first, the contract's coming. Okay. At around June 1. Okay. I predicted this the whole time. This was never happening. This was never happening. I said they're going to do a bond on him. Or, because of the agent change, they did go to him and offer him a low ball deal. And it insulted him. And he said, you know what? I'm going to do a Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. Or then what else happened? Tell me what happened. Where's the contract? The one that all of you were so sure was coming. Where? Get this, folks. How many people in here said that Reed Blankenship would have that contract done before the start of the season? 90% of you said that. I heard John McMullen say that. John's as tied in as anybody with that team. I've heard everyone say that. Where is it? He's eligible for one. Everyone kept telling me it's coming. Oh, now not me. Not I. Really? Okay. Funny, we brought it up every show almost. I tweeted it every day. Where's Blankenship's contract? Okay. Now, just like you're backtracking on Wentz, interesting to watch. I see. Call me out, but when I start calling some of you out, you forget and you have amnesia. Okay. So, check. The Keely Ringo one. Check. We starting out with a good one here. Right out of the gate here. Oh, and by the way, we're going to find out tonight about Sidney Brown. If you replaced him, we're going to find out about the linebacker play. If you replaced Oren Burks and Dean, we'll find that out tonight. I mean, we let's see how. Hey, let me ask you this. If this game is 27-26 tonight and you win, you'll feel like you lost the game, won't you? Right? You'll feel like, I don't believe that. Hell, I'm still on the open. I'm still on the open. Now, help me out on this one. Who was Howie trading for Michael Parsons? Who was he trading? And supposedly he called the Cowboys. Who was he trading? Cowboys wanted a player. That's known. They wanted a player and draft picks. Who was he trading? You're telling me that he wouldn't have done that? Jordan Davis and 2-1s? Why wouldn't Jerry have done that? A Jordan Davis and 2-1s? That's better than the deal potentially they got now with Clark because he's younger, right? Clark's probably a better player, maybe, right now, but he's younger. Davis and 2-1s. And you're trying to tell me, Arthur, that Jerry decided to settle on a team that he could face in the divisional or the NFC championship game one day in the Packers. I would rather play against Michael Parsons in the NFC East every year than in the NFC playoffs, wouldn't you? Why would I want to see him in significant football games that I can't recover from because they're one and done? Going to the Packers is worse than going to the Eagles if you're Dallas. So if I lose 2 games to the Eagles and I'm the Cowboys in the season, the Buccaneers were 0-2 versus the Falcons, and they still won the South. But if you lose 1 game in the postseason to the Packers, you're done. That is worse for Jerry and the team he traded to because they're more significant football games. I'd rather have him in the East than have him, say, in San Francisco, the Rams, Detroit, or Green Bay. All those teams, get this. So check this out. I just made a point to you. If I lose 2 division games, like the Bucs did a year ago, I could still win my fucking division. But if I trade Michael Parsons to the Packers and have to play him in the postseason, I'm finished. What's a more significant game? The NFC games? The NFC East games? Or a playoff game? A divisional game? I don't want to see him against the Packers. Andrew, not a very good football man, I could see already. Seals, by the time the Cowboys are relevant again, it won't matter where Mike is playing. Well, wait a minute here. Well, yes, the Packers will be better. The Packers will be. Okay, they'll be better. The Packers got better, dude. So my question would be to the Philadelphia. You think anybody in the Philadelphia media will ask Howie, and let him say no? I'm not going to get into that. Let him make that comment. Howie, it's being reported, according to Adam Schefter, that you called. And can you give us any particulars of what the Cowboys wanted? I already know what they wanted. They wanted either Carter or Davis. And Howie was like, not happening. And the 2-1s. They were thinking about the Davis, but at the end of the day, they balked at it. You know how I know this? I asked Michael Irvin, who's coming on at 3:30. Okay? No, the question, that's not what was said. That's not what was said. Ask Michael Irvin, dude. Michael Irvin talks to Jerry Jones on his podcast every day, or every week, I should say. What the fuck does Adam Schefter know that Michael Irvin doesn't know? Michael Irvin's been on his podcast the last 3 weeks. You could ask him when he gets here. Ask him when he gets here. Simple. Right? Simple. Just ask him. He'll be here. He talks to Jerry Jones every day. And by the way, we posted that on my Twitter page 4 days ago, that the Eagles and Cowboys were talking, because Michael told me. I reposted that on my X account. Yes. And pre. And they drafted another running back this year. Just admit you don't know their roster. I'm not sure who you're talking to. I'm not afraid to say it, Sills. Davis and Nolan for 3 first-rounders for Micah. Get rid of the guys with the upcoming contracts. That's why they were probably really thinking about the Davis move. Because here's the deal. You want to pay Carter 40, right? 37, 38, somewhere in there. You're not going to pay Davis $20 million. You're just not. You're not going to invest $60 million in 2 tackles. Nobody in the NFL does. I mean, if you guys are sitting there trying to tell me about Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, and you don't want to pay 2 guys in Jacksonville that kind of money, why would the Eagles want to pay 2 tackles? That makes no sense. Bro, talk football here. Thank you. I don't even know who you're talking about anymore. Howie is going to plead the 5th. That's okay. Let him. Let him plead the 5th. Okay? Let him plead the 5th. Absolutely. I would like somebody to listen. I would have definitely have made that dude with Davis. For years, this dude, Dak Prescott, always making games look close in the 4th quarter. Funny you should say that. We're going to go to another topic here in a minute. After being down 21 points because the defenses play soft coverages in the 4th quarter. Funny you should say that. Let me go here. Dak Prescott versus the Dallas Cowboys. Nothing to do with playoffs. The playoff talk has nothing to do with anything. Has nothing. And the choking has nothing to do with tonight's game. 0. Nothing. So if you say anything about the postseason with Dak, it has no relevance on tonight. I'm talking about a regular season football game tonight that starts between the Cowboys and the Eagles. And here's Dak. Dak's played 13 ball games, and he's won 9 of them. And he's putting up around 67, 68% completion percentage in those 8. And in the last 10 games, he's 8-2 that he's played against the Eagles. his last 10 games, 281, 374, 347, 300, 240, 270, 240, 455, 270. 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. Very limited picks. In the 13 games he's thrown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has thrown 6 interceptions in 13 ball games against Philly. He's 9-3 versus them. Okay? What's that mean to me heading into this? He's comfortable in this conference. He's comfortable in his division. He's comfortable playing against the Giants, the Eagles, the Redskins. He's comfortable playing against those teams. Does that have those things that he has done in the past have any relevance? Well, tell you what John McMullen told Xander. It's not a stat until it becomes one. You can't dismiss 13 wins. You can't dismiss 9 wins as much as you want to. You can't dismiss it. I mean, it's now his numbers are now something relevant. We're not talking about limited success here. We're talking about constant success here. How many of those games were again? That's not the point, dude. That's not the point. How many of those games were against Jim Schwartz, who's got a Super Bowl ring? Let me take a look at that. Take a look at these games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those games were against Jim Schwartz. I don't know. He's got a ring too. I don't know. I mean, you're saying Jim Schwartz is not a good D coordinator? He won a Super Bowl here, didn't he? Did he not? Had the number 1 defense in the NFL 2 years ago. Against Vic? Well, Jim Schwartz has a Super Bowl ring too. So, whatever. He goes against complex defenses. By the way, I'm not telling you that is something to sit here and go, ooh, no. It's just to be aware that he's comfortable in the NFC East games. Walking to my first Phillies game and then my first tailgating experience in the city of brotherly love. See you at the post game. Matt D, thank you, brother. Says, I also think Dak has to shake off. That's a good one. Yeah. I think it's going to look ugly early. I do. I think this thing's going to look sloppy. Don't be disappointed if you see shitty football in the first quarter. Like they're flopping around one another, 3 and outs all over the place. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles have not practiced at all together with their 11. Nothing. Now, in Dallas, I'm not sure what they have. My problem evaluating this game with the Cowboys, I don't really know what they're going to line up out there. If he doesn't get this, if that guy does not have over 25 carries in this game, the Eagles will lose. Because passing the ball, you're playing into the Cowboys' strengths. Play to the Cowboys' weaknesses. See if those tackles can really hold up, those defensive tackles. Barkley's got to be north of 25 carries in this game. You have north of 25 carries, I think you put them to sleep. You have south of 25 carries, you got a football game. And you got a fourth quarter game because that means the Eagles are behind and you're throwing. Remember, why do you throw? You don't have to. I got Philly covering the spread at 8.5. I got a number on that for you too. Heading into this game. What is that number? I got a pretty good number here on Philly going into that game. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's like, what, 4? I think Nick has won the last 4 openers since he's been the head football coach. The Eagles have an 11-game win streak heading into home win streak heading into tonight's game too. So that's up. They've won 11 straight at home. In the NFL, folks, winning 11 straight ball games in college is tough at home. Winning 11 straight games at home in the NFL is insane. Remember, the league's not set up for dynasties like that. That's a great streak. You have won 11 straight home games. So as I see this game as a blessing, find out how high-level throwing quarterbacks will attack. Yeah, Cowboys are going to see. Look at this, Martin. You don't have to throw your entire playbook at the Cowboys. They do at you. That's a great point by you. They have to throw everything in the kit. They've got to do trick plays. They've got to do onside kicks. They've got to do all fourth downs to make it a game. They can, because it's week 1. All bets are off with week 1, guys. Okay? It's off. The unexpected and the assumed don't happen. Okay? Freak things happen. Pick sixes. They blow coverage. Jalen throws it, and all of a sudden, Calcaterra runs for a 47-yard TD because the Cowboys blew a You're going to get shit like that. Okay. Follow you on Twitter. Twitter doesn't make me your friend. I'm not sure. I don't think you're talking to me like that. I don't know who you're talking to, brother. FYI, Guys Prize Picks got some good lineup deals for. I'm looking for football. I see this game as an audition for the scheme and who can play in it right away. Yes, Martin. That's gonna. Vic's going into this game with 4 rotating pieces: corner, safety, linebacker, and backup edge. Let me put this to you. Here's something else to keep an eye on. Okay? Here's something else to keep an eye on. Dude, if one of those edge rushers are getting blown off the ball and one of them backups, you start seeing them out there more and more and more, somebody's not playing well. Stop playing, Sills. You know it's going to be a blowout. I don't know that. Well, I got 31-21. So I don't know, whatever you think that is. I think that's a blowout. Okay? I do. A lot of players, first time playing, rusty. Yes, I agree. Like I said, I think the first quarter is going to look pretty shitty. I would say it's going to look a little shitty out there, man. Running quarterbacks were Schwartz's kryptonite. Lost 3 jerseys in 3 seasons to Seattle co-workers because Schwartz couldn't stop Wilson. Okay. You clowns in here thinking y'all the same team. You're not. Neither is Dallas. You keep listening to this shit Sileo telling you because he's butthurt about his. What in the world do I have to do with tonight's game, douchebag? Running, yes, they were, Mad D. I appreciate you, brother. What the hell does my career have to do with Eagles and Cowboys last night or tonight? What a stupid take. Get your shit together, guy. Holy cow. This guy's talking about something that happened 100 freaking years ago. What a douchebag. So the Eagles just need to control. Dude, this is why I say this. If they win that coin toss, and I'm Philly, I want the ball. I want to set the tone. Okay? I want to set it. I'm going to run the football down your throat. And you can't do anything about it. There is nothing you can do about this. Nothing. If I'm Dallas, I want the ball because I don't want that offense on the field. Dude, the worst thing you can see is this tonight. That the Eagles ran 70 plays and you ran 49. You got crushed. 48-17. If it's 70-49, it's beyond over. You got hurt in that game. You need to make sure you keep them limited to under 63, 60 plays. You can't let the Eagles get up past 60. Game's over. Yards per carry will be around 5.5 minimum. Pass per plays will be around 7.5. How do you get around a team that has 8.5, 7.5 passing and 6.5 rushing? Answer, you don't. Game's over. Okay? Game is over. Seals, there are no tendencies to lean on in week one. That's correct. And I call them trends, but you call them tendencies. That's fine. Some coaches call them tendencies. That's exactly correct. This is how you put a game plan together. What you do is you take the last 3 games that you played, and you take the last 3 games that you played if it's common coordinators. And what do I mean by that? Same guys, same scheme, all that. Then what the analytics guys do and what the quality control coaches do, they'll sit there and do this, guys. So they'll take those last 3, what Bob's talking about here. They'll take those last 3 and go 3rd and 1 plus 25. And they'll cut all those plays up. And what they'll do is they'll categorize them and they'll put it on plus 25, 1st and 10, your own 25. Okay, what do they like to run on that? They'll put it in the computer, a number will come out. They like to run the power sweep or the counter tray. You see that. What are the top 3 plays that they run out of the backfield set? Is it no backs? Is it one back? Is it shade back? Is it brown or green? You'll look at that. You'll plug that in. And you'll put all of that in. And what you get is a play sheet on defense. This is the top 10 plays that they like to start the football game with. These are the plays that they like on 2nd and 6. These are the plays in the formations that they like on 3rd and 4. These are some of the plays that they like on the plus 50 on your side of the field. 2nd and 2, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. And you get quizzed on this on Saturday night. You'll get quizzed on it. You're sitting there looking at this. Sileo, what do they like to run out of 2-set back, plus 25? And this is what Belichick would do with Brady. You're playing war games with your players. What's the one play that Dak likes to do on first down, the first 10 plays of the game? What does he like to do? He wants to spread you out immediately. He wants to get CD in space. He wants drag routes with the tight end. He wants to be able to get moving to his left. And that's some of the stuff that you're game planning. Like 2nd and 8, I think he likes to roll a little more and get out of the pocket and move the passing lanes. When he gets out of the pocket, Dak is why do you get out of the pocket? You know what you're doing? You're trying to find space for your wide receivers in the lanes. The one thing that Roethlisberger used to do that was so sensational, Roethlisberger couldn't jump over a stack of quarters, right? But Roethlisberger would move in the pocket like this. Why is he doing that? Bob, tell people, why is a quarterback, when he slides his feet from side to side, what's he doing? What is a quarterback doing when he's moving, not just straight back, but when he's moving side to side? What's he doing? He's moving to safety. When you move, strong safety moves. When you move over here, free safety moves. You're moving those guys because those are your landmarks. Okay? That's right. He's creating lanes for his wideouts to get in space. Dak does a very good job of that. He's good at that. Okay? Just remember the same Eagles offense put 40 points on a top 5 defense last time there was on the field. Just the facts. You don't have the same football team, dude. Your football team was able to do a lot of things because of the top-ranked defense. Just because you have a top-flight offense. And by the way, it was an underachieving when it came to the passing game a year ago. You were the 4th worst. Okay? You absolutely, I get it. But you're not the same football team either. Your defense is far from it. Hey, Steels, how many times do you think we see the brotherly shove tonight? I don't know because Landon's hurt. Do you think they're going to run that shove tonight with Landon being injured? Don't you think you're taking a shot at him getting injured in that thing? If you are concerned about Landon Dickerson, do you run that play tonight? The brotherly shove. Do you do that? Okay. Keep an eye on Landon tonight. Hopefully he comes out of the game healthy. I think it's a risk. We shall see. By the way, if Landon and his health tonight become an issue, advantage Dallas in the tackle position. Tooth or Toth and Steen, that ain't cutting it. Philadelphia, okay. No. Why would Goddard have more? Why would I want to get the ball to my third best player? A.J. Brown's my best player. Why would I want to do that? And have Goddard play against what is probably their best part of their secondary, their safeties. Why would I want to do that? Because it's something new? Go to AJ, dude. Why are you trying to make your lives complicated? AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, then maybe Goddard. Why are you making your life harder? Let's get Goddard 100 plus. For fucking what? That's making your life harder. Let's do something we don't do a lot. Why are you going there? Well, we're going to go here instead of going to our normal. You barely throw to tight ends and you barely throw to the receiver 3. I mean, throw the ball to AJ. You really want the ball in the hands of Goddard more than you want the ball in the hands of A.J. Brown? I'm not thinking that's why I'm paying one guy one and making another guy take a pay cut. Sills, it works the same way when you chart a defensive tendencies. When do they bring pressure? That's right. Where is it coming from? Correct. Charting helps the quarterback set protections and the OC counterpunch schemes. It's correct. That's why your center and your quarterback have to be on the same page because Dallas, here's the one thing. You don't know where the pressure's coming from now. Now that Parsons is not on the field, you don't know where it's coming from. You had an idea, you kind of knew where it was coming from because you had to game plan them. Where's it coming from now? It's coming from Fowler? Is it coming from some of the other guys, the young players that they have on the team? Okay, you have no idea where it's coming from. So that's a small advantage for the Cowboys in this game. I'm not saying a lot. Listen, they've got some advantages. They're just not enough, I think, to overcome the lack of talent. There's too much of a lack of talent on that side of the ball. Like, you're counting on Landon Dickerson not being 100%. Okay. I'm not counting on that. I'm saying, okay, I don't believe he's 100%. So that could favor the Cowboys a little bit in the fact that it's not going to be as dominant. I don't believe Steen's that good a player yet. I think he's got a long way to go before I'm going to sit here and go, he's going to be great. And just to assume it is ridiculous. He couldn't win the job a year ago. And he won it by default because Becton's not here. He didn't win that job. It was given to him. And who do you have to beat out? Kayvon Green? I mean, really, who did he beat out? Trevor Keegan? We'll find out. But he's wedged in between two great players. Okay? He's wedged in between two really wonderful players. So this is just my take. Explore the passing tonight. I don't care if we lose. I don't want to be throwing the ball for the first time against Kansas City to get that chemistry going. Listen, I want the Philadelphia Eagles to dictate their own pace and their own rhythm and their own attack. This notion that you have to sit and wait for what a defense is giving you is preposterous. Do you think you guys waited for anybody a year ago when you lined up and ran everyone over? You think lawnmowers wait to see how high the grass is? Lawnmowers mow the grass over. They don't give a shit how high the grass is. They mow the grass over. There's no game plan on a lawnmower. Lawnmowers go cut the grass, whether it's high or low. They don't care. And the Eagles are a lawnmower. Run them over. Run them over, dude. You're not dictating shit from me. There is no way you're dictating that game to me. Well, let me see what they give me. For what? So that I can be stupid and start throwing the ball and having a few 3-and-outs and giving them possessions? No way. Let me tell you this. If you're the Eagles and you get that ball in your hands, I guarantee you the first quarter will be this. Running the football, 10-play drive. Remember I said this. I'm going to write this down. If the Eagles win the toss and they do the right thing, this thing should look like this. 10-play drive, 75 yards, and a score. That's how that thing should look. 10-play drive. And if you don't get a 10-play drive off that first series, it's because you were dicking around throwing the ball. Short throws, run the ball. That's right. Shipley maybe being part of it. I think Eberflus is a really good defensive coach. I do. And if you remember right, hey, Deshae, can you help me out on this? Was Eberflus up with Vic Fangio in Chicago as the head coach? Did Vic work for him? Can somebody – was it Matt Nagy? Matt Nagy. Was that Nagy up there or was that Eberflus? That Vic worked in Chicago and was the D coordinator. Well, maybe I got him crossed up. I know Vic was up in Chicago. I think coaching the linebackers. It was Nagy, Kyle. Okay, it was Matt Nagy. So he wasn't there with Eberflus. Okay, it was Nagy. Matt Nagy. Got some real winners in Chicago. I hope this guy Johnson does it. Matt Nagy. Okay, I think Matt Nagy's now the offensive coordinator in Kansas City. I think he's there with Andy Reid. The 2018. Okay. Thanks a lot, Forrest. I appreciate that. Run the ball. Slow the game down. By the way, Michael Irvin's going to join us in a couple minutes. Let me double check and see if Mike want to make sure we're getting everybody in here. Appreciate you guys being here. Please hit that. Holy cow. I got Mike Cain's guys are going to be watching this thing here. So, yeah, so I haven't seen anything here. So Michael Irvin at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk to the playmaker, get his thoughts on Parsons and tonight's game. Sills, if the Eagles are stupid and try to pass, we might lose. It better not be done. Yeah, they don't. Hey, Crowley. This thing about getting the passing game going and showing Kansas City anything is stupid. If I could beat, let me ask you this, Crowley. If I could beat you with 4 plays, wouldn't you? Why do I have to bring out all my tools when I don't need them? I want the element of surprise. The Cowboys have to do everything tonight. Like the entire playbook has to be open tonight for them to have a shot of winning. Everything has to be open. Everything. Okay? The Eagles could run 5 plays. Off guard, off tackle, slant to AJ, wheel route to Devontae, post, slant. I mean, you don't really have to be complicated. And then turn around and hand to Barkley. Go get your food. Go eat. I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys. As a matter of fact, outside of the Broncos, I don't, and the Bucs with Vita Vea. By the way, was on the injured report today. Keep an eye on that Vita Vea, because without him in the middle of that line, Eagles run that football team over. And he's banged up a little bit heading into this Atlanta game on Sunday. That dude and him in New York, those are the two best run stoppers in football. And you don't have him in there, man, Atlanta could upset the Buccaneers week 1. I'm telling you, they don't have Tristan Wirfs. And if that guy's hurt, Atlanta can beat him. Atlanta can beat that team. Seals, Dallas's run defense last year sucked. I believe they were 28th. So did Chicago's with Eberflus. Yeah, but again, the problem in Chicago was, I think it's a talent issue. And I get that everybody up there loves that general manager for whatever reason, Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles has won 15 freaking ball games since he's been the general manager there. I'm still waiting on really good Chicago Bear football. I can't remember the last time the Bears were fairly decent. Hell, Mitchell Trubisky may have been there when they were decent. Can you believe that? Mitchell Trubisky actually, I think, has a winning record as a starting quarterback in Chicago. And I can't believe that. They've sucked the whole time. They have. They have absolutely sucked the whole time. Let me get my helmets up here, man. Hold on here. Yeah, they have absolutely blown the whole time. So, we'll find out in Chicago. Man, Cutler's a mountain ago. Kyle Orton. Fangio was the DC and Hurt was the D-line coach. Up there in Chicago? Yeah, I didn't know that Clint, I thought, so he brought Clint to Seattle because Clint went to Seattle and became the defensive coordinator for the, if I'm not mistaken, for the Seattle Seahawks. I think he became the coordinator for Pete. They have to play perfect and they have to play horrible. If we even play decent, they don't have a chance. Run it. I agree with you. Run the football. Run the football. They cannot. Okay? Since when is Sileo, since when is being balanced caused us to lose? You weren't balanced at all last year. You were 2-2 when you tried throwing the freaking ball. Are you under the assumption that you had a decent passing game last year? Who told you that? You were the 4th worst. You were the 4th worst in targets, sacks, passing yards, everything. You're terrible a year ago in throwing the ball. Oh, I know, you needed it. Okay. You weren't balanced a year ago. You were almost last. Get this. Prince will try to tell you that being 29th in passing and 2nd in rushing is balanced. How's that balanced? He was 10th in air yards. He had 2,900 yards a year ago. He was 10th in air yards. Oh, wait a minute. What is air yards? What? I've never heard that. He was 10th in air yards. Almost last in passing per attempt and stats like that. Jalen was actually very accurate. Yeah, you're accurate when you throw the ball 7 times. Bro, who cares? You're getting off the rails here. Nobody gives a shit. Run the ball. You're going off the rails. Okay? You're going off the rails. Run the ball tonight. Barkley's breaking a foot. Yeah, well, we'll see. Do I think there's a chance that he goes for one of those? I don't know about 2 of them. But I do think there's a chance of him having a big play. I do. Yes, Michael Irvin went to St. Thomas Aquinas. Yes, he did. Yeah. He did. One of the top schools in the country when it comes to as a matter of fact, I believe St. Thomas Aquinas has the most pro football players that are in the game today. And I think they may have the most of any high school in the country, like all time. I know the Boses came out of there. I know Michael Irvin came out of there. That tight end kid, Jason Taylor's son, I think. The kid who went to LSU. I think he went to St. Thomas. It's a great school. Okay? It's an absolutely great school. Hopefully we get Michael Irvin coming up here in a couple minutes here. Guys, hit that like button. All right. So Dak, let me go back to this. Dak Prescott versus the Eagles. Is that an advantage? Yeah. I think Dak has the advantage of being a 10-year veteran. I think Dak has the advantage of playing against this talent the last couple of years, albeit different coordinators, okay. Most of the talent that he's seen over the last few years is pretty much on the field. And some of the guys, especially the new faces that are going to be back there, when Dak Prescott sees the new faces tonight, those are going to be the areas that he's going to attack. The Adoree Jacksons. And by the way, the Cowboys torched the Giants. And wasn't Adoree Jackson on the Giants? That guy ripped him a new one. Did he not? Okay, I mean, did he not rip him a new one? Like, I don't ever remember when Saquon Barkley was a member of the New York Giants ever beating the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that Saquon Barkley ever beat the Dallas Cowboys until this last year when he was playing with the Eagles. Right? I mean, I don't think he's ever won. Playing against Q in a zone versus playing against the man corner. Two different things, dude. $60 million quarterback. Best attribute of being a quarterback is having a winning record against the Eagles. Again, all of that, what you're saying, it has no relevance tonight except for the fact that the guy has great success against Philadelphia and pretty much everybody else in the East. He's 33-8. Okay? I mean, if you're going to rip him for his postseason numbers and for him not showing up in the postseason, the one thing that you have to do then, if you're going to use one metric, you have to use the other metric too. He kicks everyone in the East ass when he plays against them. If you're going to be fair about it, you can't just isolate one and go, he doesn't get it done in the postseason. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But at the end of the day, look at these people with air yards. Hey, man, I'm not even reading those things. I have no interest in it. Air yards? Okay. Air yards. Hey, air yards. That's a new one. Hadn't heard that one before. Hey, Sills, you ever hear the air yards? Okay. I mean, right? Have you heard it? Let's see here. Can you log on now? Let's see if we can get them up. See if we can get old Mike up now. Hit that like button, guys. Air yards. That's a new one. Try to make your guys sound good. It's not all on Dak. Take a team, and it takes a team to get it done. Absolutely. He hasn't exactly proven, like Jalen, he could be that conductor. I think that's fair. I'm not suggesting to you that that's not fair, Forrest. I think that's true. Right? Okay. Xander, I believe he's getting ready to log on now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm hoping that I'm assuming, again, you got to remember something, folks. Guys my age, like Michael, okay, technology is not something. It's not something here that we're very good at here. So hopefully we send him the link here. I know Xander did already. So hit that like button, guys. Thank you very much, Prince. I appreciate you doing that, brother. Yeah. Nobody's diminishing anybody. Like I said, I think the Dallas Cowboys have to play a great game tonight. I do. I think they have to play a spectacular ball game. The Dallas Cowboys have to have an A game. The Eagles could play a C-plus game and win this game. And if the Cowboys play an A-plus game and the Eagles play a C-plus, then it's going to be a fourth-quarter football game. Hey, Xander, can you please send him the link again on his phone? Okay, we're going to send it now. We'll send to your phone. We will send to phone now. I know Xander did this already. Okay, if we could do that. I know, Xander. I know. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You know how many times Xander sends me the show link, folks? Every day. Oh, and by the way, you got to be prepared for this because me and Mike are very excited about our Hurricanes. Okay, especially after beating on Notre Dame. Okay, so we're pretty excited about that. And us beating Notre Dame. 27-24. I had a chance to talk to Mario Cristobal this morning on the Tampa show. And I was talking to Mario Cristobal this morning. And I told him I was talking to Michael. And I get people doing this all the time. You see Michael Irvin there at that Notre Dame game? I go, he did that shit when we played. He'd run up and down the sidelines when we played. And I got pictures of him coming over going, hey, Big Sills, you okay? I'm going like, yeah, I'm great. He's been doing this stuff since he was 18 years old. What are you talking about? So when people are going like, hey, you see Urban down? I go, bro, I know him at 18 doing that. Without further ado, the playmaker, the Hall of Famer, here on Eagle and Cowboy Day, on the biggest show in Philly, our friend Michael Irvin. He joins us right now. Man, you've been doing that stuff your whole life, man.
My whole life. And you know what? I'm so glad you brought all that up. I didn't think about it because I get people all the time, you know, like, dude, when I played, this is how I was. I go to my guys. I look at a football team. I was working out still, you know, because you told me 3:30, and I'm thinking I'm Eastern, and then I'm Central because I just came back from Florida, and I was in the weight room. I'm like, okay, I got you. Then you text me like, log on now. I'm like, oh, now I had to jump up out that weight room.
I love you, man. I love you so much.
I had to jump out that weight room, but to hear you saying that, because I'm telling man, shit, that junk is so real, and that's just how I've always been. I'm going to tell you, I was talking to Dion last night. I said to him, I see why you coach. You know what I mean? What you get out there with them boys, man, you can't get that nowhere. Still, we'll never be able to do that again.
No way.
Not like that. I told them dudes, man, I said, man, I'm going up on 60 now. I'll be 60 next year. I'm like, dude, I done lived enough life to know. Oh, y'all, college football, that thing, and now y'all getting paid. Y'all living the best parts of your life. It ain't gonna get no better than this.
No.
It ain't gonna get no better.
Mike, do you think that having looked back on it, how much love that you have, maybe it's just because, again, how much you love the U. And I know you love college football and where it is now, because I love college football as well. Do you think you ever really missed the boat, maybe, that you should have got into coaching? Can you imagine the impact that you could have made on a year? Because here's why, Mike, I say this about you all the time. Why you're one of my 5 best friends in my life, and I don't have a lot of them. I say this. I want people that have gone through that and that. I want the people that have been at both ends of it, that have experienced everything in their life, and I want that to be able to be translated to a young kid so he knows what he's in for, good and bad. Dude, you're the perfect guy on a phone call for that.
Yes, yo. Yeah, I thought about this. So, but, you know, let me tell you something. You make me think about the documentary. When the first accusation came down and I wasn't even there and all of that stuff went down, that was my coaching out the window right there. And you know, when this girl said that I held the gun to her head while other people raped her, and I was at a 7-Eleven with my daughter on the other side of town, and that thing went, even though I sued people, I made millions of dollars suing people, my coaching career, I felt, went out the door before I got started.
Mike, you know what I told
you?
Even
when you're bringing it up, I mean,
you know what, Mike?
I
Listen,
wish I could.
Listen,
I wish
you know what
could.
I told people prior to this? And I had your back then, I had your back always at UM. Yeah. And then when somebody, that thing at the Marriott, I remember posting right away. I go, I got Michael Irvin's back 1,000%.
Right.
I go 1,000%. You know what he did? I go, I'm gonna tell some of you guys this. Mike has a wife that I've known since college. And let me tell you, I'm not going to go deep into it because it's private conversations between me and him. But at that time, you were going through some stuff. And I went, no way. I've got his back 1,000%. I will always have your back, dude. Yeah. I will always, because I know the man you are, man. Hey, Mike, everyone's got a dent in the fender, dude.
Yeah, you got me with that, because you know what? Even now, I remember having a deposition with those guys, and I said to those guys, I said, you guys accused me of something, and I wasn't even there. And I said, let me tell you the difference. I said, all of you guys, all of these lawyers, because it was NBC, big news people, NBC, of which one it was, and then it was the police. I'm suing them all. So they sent all these big time lawyers. They come walking in the room, boom. And I said, you see how y'all walked in today? Because we were doing this deposition meeting. What do they call those meetings where you're trying to settle a case? You know what I mean?
You're trying to get to a resolution on a settlement.
Yeah, right. The case, and they order mediation.
Okay,
mediation, right?
Got it.
So they order mediation, and when it's mediation, and the mediator have you all in the room, and both people tell your side. And it's really just a way for them to look and see, like, do we want to put him on the stands or not? And I went to the store. I told him, I said, listen, I saw all these big time lawyers walk in with the briefcase and your great suits on. You walked in, you're a respectable businessman. I said, I grew up in the ghettos of Fort Lauderdale. I'm the 15th of 17 kids. I went to the University of Miami. I wanted to be you. I graduated in 3 years with my business degree. I wanted to be you. I want to walk in with a suit on and a nice briefcase and be a respectable businessman. But y'all took that from me.
Yeah.
And right then they were like, we want to sell right here. Really, I remember Big E. Big E was in there with me. Big E leaned over and he was like, we don't even need our lawyer. You just
Hey, Mike, man. But
let's get out of that. Let's talk. Let's get out. Because you took me deep.
I did, man. I'm sorry, man.
But still, because still, that's everything. Me still going up and down that sideline, talking. I came to you because in football, you got to. It's like a business, a corporation, or you got to have leaders at every position. And I came to check with you. I came to check with all of my leaders.
Everybody.
Every position. JB, what we got, man? Can we get it? Charles Haley, dude, you told me y'all were giving up 20 points. They got 24. What the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying?
But Mike, you've always
got to do that.
Since you were 18 years old.
Got to do that. That's the game.
Dude, you've been that guy ever since I've known you. That's when some people were doing this. I go, that's nothing new. Who are you? You must not know this guy, because I know this guy since we were teenagers here. Anyway, Mike, I got to get into the Cowboy talk here, man. Tonight it's Eagles and it's Cowboys. I mean, first and foremost, man, I'll tell you, I didn't believe Jerry would do it. I just did not believe it. But give me your takeaway on the Parsons deal.
Me neither. I didn't believe Jerry would do it. And obviously that thing had gotten to a place where egos and personals got in the way. The personals and the egos got in the way. And I'm gonna say this. I think the biggest loser in it all is certainly the football team of the Dallas Cowboys. But when you take out the teams in the equation of all three of the men, you got Jerry, you got David Muguleta, and Michael Parsons. I think Michael Parsons comes in third in that because Jerry's never going to lose.
No.
Jerry's never going to lose. David Muguleta, he sent you on the New Deal money, $47 million to Green Bay to send out the message to everybody. Look, I raised the number from 42 to 47. But the reality is that deal is really a 5-year, $42 million a year deal because they had to add on that last deal, that last year. But it sounds good. So for him, great business. For Michael Parsons, you made a lot of money, but you're going to make a lot of money anyway. Let's just get that out the way. No matter where you played, and certainly if you played here, you're going to make a lot of money. But Michael Parsons also wanted a relationship with an owner. He wanted afterlife and broadcasting, and I think all of that was damaged severely once he left the Cowboys. You had $200 million podcast gone. So I'm just saying, I was shocked. Yes, I was shocked that it happened. I know how much it hurts Jared. I know how much it hurts Michael, and I thought it was a crazy deal.
How about this, Mike? Every single one of you dudes that were the triplets and all the guys that were on that team, even Daryl Johnston went into broadcasting.
They're doing it.
And every single one of you, because of that brand. And I told people this, if you've ever been to Green Bay, and I've played a few ball games up there, you got to fly into Appleton. You got to take a bus. This ain't Dallas walking into Valley Ranch, dog.
Oh, my God.
This is a
You're going to
world.
live here the rest of your life. His family's here. His family's here. So if I tell my agent, and it's just me, Dan, if I tell my agent, listen, I want to play in Dallas, so get me, then if I'm out of Dallas, you didn't do your job. My number, I'm going to make the money. Dallas had 41 on the table. He basically got 42. And you're in Green Bay. Everybody wants to get at Jerry. I can't say that hard enough. You're in Green Bay. You're not going to live the rest of your life in Green Bay. So, it's just.
No, you're not. You're just not. It's just not going to happen there. All right. I said this, Michael, and you tell me if you agree.
Let me tell you what worries me about tonight, though. Let me tell you what worries.
Here's where I'm going with this.
Go. I'm going to get on
Okay. I think tonight's game, that move is either going to galvanize or demoralize.
Right.
I think you go into a game tonight. I think if they make it close early, it's going to galvanize. If this thing gets ugly early, I think it's going to demoralize. Am I wrong?
I'm so shaken about this because a couple of things. You heard what's all of this that's going on with Cowboy Land. My big concern when going into this game is not the noise I'm hearing from Texas. It's the crickets I'm hearing from Philadelphia. Crickets. Y'all just won a championship. Why is it crickets? Cricket. And when that kind of quiet says, oh shit, a storm may be coming. You know what I'm saying? You get crickets like that. So that's why I'm worried at right there.
Oh, wait. Are you got that Michael Irvin premonition that this thing could be ugly tonight?
Boy, oh boy. Now, I'm just saying. What will stop it now, what can stop it and prevent it, and I'm hoping it does happen, and all the possibility of it happening. The two things I said. If George Pickens and Ferguson goes off, Dallas got a chance. If George Pickens get 2 or 3 of them things up the field, those 50-50 balls that we can turn into greater opportunities because it's George Pickens, Dallas got a chance. Ferguson has to have a big game. You're going to try to take CeeDee Lamb out. If Dallas wins this, Dak Prescott has to play like the MVP. You see what I mean? And the second thing I'll say, we can get something to right now that will link back to the Michael Parsons trade. Everybody's saying you won't find out, or we won't find out who is the winner of that trade for years and years. That's a lie. You can find out tonight if Kenny Clark comes in here and this team all of a sudden shuts down the 25 plus 100 yards that Saquon Barkley got, and from somewhere osmosis, lost whatever they got, and you know how to stop the run, and you win a game, you'll wake up tomorrow saying, damn, that was great. They got rid of Michael Parsons. Did you see how well that thing worked? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dallas won, and they got 2 first picks coming. So yeah, but I just don't see how likely that is to happen.
I got two questions here for you. 2 more here. First and foremost, Jalen Hurts. Mike, tell me in your eyes, why is there such a conflict in trying to figure out who he is? Because this is we are paid. People in here don't understand. NFL players are paid on accomplishments. You people call them stats. I call a guy who gets 1,400 yards and 100 catches. Those are accomplishments. You're paid on those accomplishments. And when you don't see big numbers, but yet you see the winning, he's caught in between, it seems. How do you see him?
It is what the old Proverbs would tell you. He who goes up front takes the brunt of the win. There have been many trying to crack it, but he did. There have been many. What I mean by that, many of these run-first quarterbacks trying to crack the code to win a Super Bowl, but never happened. And they changed the quarterback. They said you'll never win with a running quarterback, so you got to learn to stand in the pocket. You got to learn to stand in the pocket. They're telling you got to use less of you. Don't use all of your talents. Just stand back there like a stiff one, and you can win running with a. I'm not saying he's a running quarterback. He's a quarterback that can run. They're all quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
He's probably one of the best, Mike, that can throw the ball and run.
Right. But they don't see it because his title came as a running quarterback, learning to throw, not a throwing quarterback that can really run. Patrick Mahomes is a throwing quarterback that can move and can run. Lamar Jackson came in as a running quarterback, learning to throw. They thought that 2-time MVP would be the first one to cross that threshold and say we're champions, but it was Jalen Hurts because it's not just what you do individually, it's also how you lead, and that's the thing that he's had over everybody, and that's the thing that is messing with everybody's head. They can't see it. They can't see it.
Mike, I got one more here. I want to show you something.
He's one of the top quarterbacks in the National Football League because, like you said, results matter. All this other stuff doesn't matter. It's like me at receiver. When I get people like the TOs telling me they're going to call so many more passes, I said, who cares? You never won a Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? Who cares? Yeah. Don't tell me you'll call 2 more touchdowns or 5 more passes. I got 3 Super Bowls. You got now. What are we talking about? He's been in 2 and y'all been in now. What are we talking about? That's the key right there, Sil.
I got to show you something here because I'm going to ask you about that Netflix thing. So look what Switzer sent me the other day to Dan Sileo, great player and friend.
Yeah, that's my dude, man.
And I watched that Netflix with you, JJ, and I got to tell you, man, I was riveted to it, man. There was some real shit in there. I thought there were a couple fishtails in there because Jimmy Johnson, in my opinion, built that dynasty, and I don't give a shit what people say. He built that dynasty, and I'm always going to go there and say that. However, did it give you and make you have good feelings? Because a lot of the stuff was brought up, Mike, and a lot of the old stuff that you've been trying to outrun, Mike, has kind of got brought up, and I'm watching this, and I'm going, God dang. You know what? I didn't like it. I got to tell you, I loved the series, but I went like this, Mike. Why are you bringing this shit up?
Right.
Okay, this guy, man, has tried to fight his whole entire life to outrun that. How did you feel about it?
But still, it's time. It was cool. It was
okay.
Time. I've had so many people offer me so much money to write a book, and I said, well, I'm still writing chapters. But the reality is here right now, where we are right now, it's time to let it all come and bring it all back out. And now, because I'm in a different place, and since I can't be in that front spot, like I talked about when I got emotional with Dion coaching and all of that, because of this mess, then go ahead and bring it out and let me use the mess as the badge so I can go and get the rest of the kids that are in mess. And I just say, hey, listen, you saw that documentary. I had some issues too. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Now it's a bad to go help someone and go help people. It's just I can't get out front and work with the kids like that. I just got to try to use it to come in the back door, and it's the real. You know what I mean? It's the real. So it's all good. It's all time. Let it all come out, and then now you try to use it to get in the back door for those ones that are straying away. Say, let me tell you something. Let's lock back in.
You know what though, Mike? Someone asked me a question. I think it was Tony Casillas the other day. He asked me the question. He goes, "You think Mike would do anything over again?" I go, "No." I said, "I think the journey that he's been on made him the person he is now." I said, "I think the journey that guy's been on," I go, you don't understand. Being a winner like that, you don't win championships with choir boys. We were not choir boys. We were just not choir boys. I mean, it just wasn't happening. And so folks were asking me, were you guys really that crazy back then? I went, let me just put it to you this way. If social media was around and Nil was around,
right,
Michael Irvin would have hotels up and down, up and down Brickell Avenue.
Right. But then the difference is, and when I spoke to kids, Miami, let me tell you the difference. Right, I went and talked to them, and I was trying to tell them about our journey, and I said to myself, this doesn't work anymore. Sharing with these kids today about our tough journey, how hard it was, and how hard we had it. I had $10 a weekend. I had to eat cereal with water. I had to. That they don't connect to that because they know not that world. So you have to share with them not about where you came from, but about where they're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't connect to the grit in the fight. We literally were prepared and ready to do whatever we had to do to get out of those ghettos. And that was our connect to be somebody. We're gonna get out of it. They don't have that fight. So that fight has to be where they're going, not what's running from where they came from. We ran from where we came from. Yeah. That got us to where we're going. They have somewhere to go. They're not running from where they came from. I have to pull them. I can't push them.
Mike, let me give you a couple things here that taught me something. When I got down there, I remember going to Eddie Brown's house down in Belle Glades. I saw dirt on the floor, grass roof, and you go into Overtown in Liberty City. I remember Jerome going, "Put your jersey on." I go, "I'm Italian. I ain't a white guy." And he goes, "Put your jersey on, please, for me." Okay, that's going to protect yourself.
That's that automatic pass right there. That's that automatic pass.
They're going to love you. They're going to love you. But I want you to do okay, because we're gonna go. And so Jerome took me to all these places. And I got to tell you, Mike, the journey, I tell folks to this day, there's not a teammate I played with that I can't think I don't love. Yeah. That whole room we had, man, was just, and people think that we had fights in the middle of our locker room. Michael Irvin's talking and preaching this. This guy's going, "You're crazy." We got Gray. We got Derwin Jones in there. We got Jerome goofing on him. Oh my God. Remember all the
dudes? Man, y'all had a D-line, dude.
Hey, wait. How about this one, Derwin? Man, you're so black. You're so black. You're gray. Come here, Gray. We called him Gray.
When Derwin hit that corner, when he hit that corner with that little afro, boy, all you just one solid color. Boy, you hear everything. Just one solid. Hey, man, God almighty. That was a great line that y'all had. Boy, that defensive line, I can go to any one of them dudes, man, at any time, and just, man, they were all.
You know what Ogeron said? Ogeron said this. He goes, "My D-line's the best D-line that Miami's ever had with Jerome, myself." And I go, "Don't forget Cortez and Russell Maryland were behind us. Jimmy Jones was behind us." I go, "You know why? You never took a day off. You were afraid of losing your gig."
That's what it was, right? That's what it was.
You were just afraid. So, Mike,
and that's a great point.
Hey, Mike, for you, what's next? What's next for you, Mike? I mean, where are we going? I know your podcast. I see Jerry on there all the time, which is awesome. Great. Yeah. I know the podcast is killing it. How are you doing now?
I'm loving this right now. And let me tell you, even the podcast I called in my little locker room. I started doing that just so I can have a place to always share. Like when other people try to shut it down, I can have a place to say, "Let me tell you, this is what's going on." Because you just need a place to communicate. But now, yeah, things are going real well with that. But I still do things. I'm on, Cam and May's podcast. All I want to do is be around the game, talk about the game,
right.
and give whatever I got from the game to who's ever in the game. You know what I'm saying? And try to move. That's all we can do, man, is try to turn back and give back and reach back and pull up. So I'm in that phase of life, but it's so good right now, Dad. Let me tell you something. I'm a happy man. I really am.
I'm so Mike.
I'll be happier if Dallas wins tonight. Just let you know, I can be happier.
Let me leave you with this and ask you this here. Did you enjoy playing? And I asked Eric Dickerson this, and I'm going to ask you because I've never asked you this. Did you enjoy playing more on Saturdays or on Sundays?
Dude, that's why we started this, and I said this to you. I've lived the journey. These kids right now, when I'm over with those Hurricanes, man, this is the greatest time of your life, bar. Because, and I would imagine it's even better for them because they get the experience without concern. I got the experience, but I got enough fight.
I told Mario today.
I'm trying to get to it.
I told Mario this morning on my Tampa show, and I go like this. Can you imagine walking off the sidelines and there's Michael Irvin's freaking face looking at me, giving me high fives? I go, my God, you don't remember all those players that used to be on our sidelines, the Jim Burts and all those guys that would come and watch us and give us high fives? Oh, we had that train going at one time. And boy, I got to tell you, that CJ Daniels catch, dude, I jumped out of my chair when he caught that thing.
It was insane. I know. And I thought they were trying to take that game, but boy, he made such a play. And dude, I'm right there to tell him, dude,
I saw you.
Those the kind of plays that separate your life from the regular person's life, the rest of your life. That's what I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
I definitely do here. So you're going to keep getting Jerry on?
So it would be Saturday.
What?
Those were the best days. Saturday? Saturday was the best days. Saturday, no doubt. Because we were all fighting to get somewhere. Sundays, everybody's in a different place. Everybody's making money. I watch what you're doing right now. You remember? This is all because how you done worked your business. All that's because Jimmy brought us in every Thursday night.
Oh,
every Thursday night.
I owe him my life.
What are y'all doing? What are you going to be doing after football? You're going to be doing something. What are we doing? We'll talk about it right now. And Jimmy didn't do that for us. Nope. You know what I mean?
I owe him my life.
Right. Me too. I tell him that. All the people that were in that room and look at the success they're having still, all of that was because that's Mitch Richmond. That's Mitch Richmond calling. That's only an NBA Hall of Famer right there.
When he got a hoop game going?
Right. That's big. Mitch, I'm on the phone with I'm on a Zoom with Dan. Let me hit you right back.
Hey man, I love you to death.
All right. Hey, I love you too, D.
Bro, I do, man. You're I told my wife this. I go, I don't have like a lot of friends because it's just what it is. You can't really trust a ton of people. But boy, I'll tell you what, man, I've known you for a long time. We go back, again, we were 18 years old when we met each other. It's freaking crazy. We're 60 years old, Mike. We're 60 years old. We know each other this long. Stupid great.
Hey, my boy, I know you got to go, but listen, my boy told me he wanted this, man, I'm going to do the biggest 60th birthday party in the world this year, boy. I'm going to throw the biggest. I said, Joker. I said, what? I said, stop. I said, yeah. I said, listen. I said, I got my black ass in this weight room. I'm working hard. I'm dyeing my hair. I'm trying to look young. You think I'm finna let you shout to the world? He's turning 60. I said, we ain't doing no party.
If you have a 60th birthday, I'm going to be there because I'm going to be right next to you.
No party. We ain't telling the world. We ain't telling the world I'm turning 60.
Mike, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you finding time for me. I love you so much, man. And God bless you, brother. We'll be down the line. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, man. Take care of those guys in Philadelphia, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm a little worried about the Crickets coming out of Philly, because that may mean that they're just focused on repeating. That's scary. That's scary. I'm telling you.
I got you. Mike, I love you, man. We'll talk to you down the line.
All right, brother.
The great Michael Irvin, man. Damn, I love that man so much. Absolutely. He's worried about you. He's worried about you. Okay. He says you're being too quiet. Huh. Okay. Oh, my God. Hey, so Howard Eskin just texted me, goes, you tell that Michael Irvin to stop blowing my ass off. Howard's going to join us at 4:30. And Big Z, I hope we can catch you at the top of the – actually, let's do this now. Let's bring in Xander. Can you come on now? We'll do it now because I know you got to get ready for the post-game show. If you want to come on now, we'll do it now instead. And then we'll go all the way down to the Howard Eskin at the bottom of the hour. So I think we're going to do Xander now, right after that. And then what we'll do is we'll go right into Howard. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, bro. All right. So Michael Irvin was the warm-up back for one man right here. And you know who that man is? He is Big Z. Without a doubt. Here he is. Xander.
What up, Big Sills? Yo, great interview, man. I love listening to you and Michael Irvin chop it up. You can tell you guys were good buddies, from your days at Alabama. Good stories, and he knows we're inevitable, Sills. I mean, that sounds like a Dallas Cowboy guy that is worried about what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing to me, my friend.
Boy, I'll tell you, man, Mike's like this. I don't know, man. I got a premonition about something, and you know what I'm not hearing? I'm not hearing a lot of noise out of that place. Yeah. They're not really barking. We're doing all the stupid noise right now. And I'm going like, okay, so I tell you, I think Mike knows the inevitable is coming here. How are you feeling for this game tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. I feel like the Eagles got to handle their business. I like the way that they've approached things. One part of me was like, just own that you won the Super Bowl. Why are you hiding from the banner and the word repeat? And I don't know. That's just kind of my perspective on life. So own where you are, own your situation, and go through it and get to the other side. But I got no problem with it because they've had success, and I feel pretty good about where the team is right now. I will say this. I don't think I don't think the team is, but I don't think the fan base should go to sleep on this game tonight. I know that we're a better football team than the Dallas Cowboys, but it's week one. There's a lot of unknown whenever you have a week one game, and the Cowboys have some guys that can catch the football. And that's the one area on this defense that I think there are question marks right now. You got a new safety and a new corner. If Schottenheimer's able to scheme it up where you get the matchups you want on the outside, Dak is going to pick on Adoree Jackson and Sidney Brown. Remember, tight end as well. He got that Jake Ferguson in the middle. Do they pick on Jahad Campbell, in coverage? Do they pick on Sidney Brown there in coverage? So I'm not saying the Cowboys are bad, but I think they do have some spots where they could exploit, and the Eagles got to be ready to manage that. And, it's week one, so it's going to be harder to do.
I think you're looking at it exactly right. Here's my take. I do not believe that Landon Dickerson is 100%. And I think the Cowboys have good tackles. I think they're above being average. I think they're going to, and I'm not even talking about Clark. I'm talking about the guys. Now, I don't know. Listen, everyone wants to crown Steen. I'm not. I want to see it. I heard Jason Kelsey tell me he thought he was inconsistent a year ago and that he needs to play better. Okay, well, we're going to find out here in this game. And if Landon is not 100% and he's playing at 70% in this ball game, and you got a Steen kid who's not really couldn't win the job a year ago, Juergens is good. He's wedged in between two good players, Lane. And I don't know how much of a gigantic advantage that is for Philly interior-wise if Landon is not 100%. That's something to keep an eye on.
Remember, Cam had a surgery too in the offseason, Sills.
And Cam did too. But here, follow me here. I'm not saying that this is enough. All I'm saying is keep an eye on this. If you're Dak, and if you can't get pressure from Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith in this ball game, bro, he's going to find Sidney Brown and Adoree Jackson. He's going to find those zone openings back there. I think there's going to be more open space for Cooper DeJean to have to make more tackles if Jihad, here's who I go after: Jihad Campbell, Brown, and Adoree. I want to find out if they know what they're doing in pass drops. I really do. And again, I'm not saying they have enough to beat you. I'm saying there could be some matchups in this game that could make this thing interesting. Remember, the Cowboys are trying to make it a fourth quarter football game. They're not going to win this game until they get into the fourth quarter. The Eagles can put the game away early.
Right. No,
if they're playing on top of their screws, they're putting this game away early. So if I'm the Cowboys, I don't want the Philadelphia Eagles having the ball right away. I can't let that, because if that offense gets on the field and they go 10 plays and they run 9 minutes off that clock, bro, you're behind the chains already if you're Dallas.
No, you're right. I mean, I think from a macro perspective, I agree with you. The one spot that I would maybe see it just a little differently than you would be, I think that interior is more important tonight because Dallas already has a shoddy run game. And if you're able to get pressure up the middle and take away their running lanes, even if the edges don't get pressure, but they can set the edge and fill the gaps in the run game.
Can they?
I don't know. That's a big question. I mean, it's fair to wonder that too. The way you framed it was more pressure. Now, I think both of them are a big question mark, but if they can take away that run game, I think you're going to make their life really hard because and here's the thing, if they don't get the lead early, right? If they don't do what you said, take the ball and go and get a touchdown. If they do, right, they're going to be screwed because then they're going to fall into they have to pass, and it's going to allow Vic to sit back, play the too high safety. Even with Adoree Jackson, you can shade a safety over to help them. Everybody can get help because the Cowboys aren't going to be able to run the football. So if that interior can fill the holes in the run game and then also get pressure up the middle, in the passing game, I think that's what's going to be the key to the game. It's more Jalen Carter, in my opinion, and this is always true, by the way, every single game the Eagles play, but Jalen Carter is the one defender this game that he could completely ruin the Cowboys' chances at moving the ball at all offensively.
It's got to be quick passing. And by the way, Chris, you're not wrong. The Cowboys have to reach. They have to play an A game tonight for them to be able to be in the game, not try. I think if the Cowboys play an A game, that may not be good enough. So they do have to reach.
Well, remember, they have the advantage.
If you're praying the Eagles play C+ tonight.
Well, they have the Cowboys have the advantage from a sense of the Eagles are a better football team by a long shot, but they're in week 1. They barely got any reps in preseason. So you're getting one of the most high-powered football teams before that high-powered football team.
It will be sloppy.
Has even had a chance to turn their wheel one time. That's a squeaky wheel, man. There's no grease on that thing yet. And that's the biggest advantage for the Cowboys. So, and going back to kind of the Cowboys' perspective in this game, you said it's got to be quick passes. And Cooper DeJean's another key in this game. Another guy that's a key in every game. But you play too high safety. The Cowboys do have the guys. CeeDee Lamb is really good coming across the middle of the field, playing out of the slot, playing in the middle.
Space.
Exactly. Jake Ferguson, another guy I talked about. Can they expose Jihad Campbell in coverage? I think Jihad's a good player, but the one spot he needs work is coverage. Every linebacker needs work in coverage. So if they can kind of exploit that underneath successfully, that could put the Eagles defense on their heels a little bit. But again, that can all be mitigated. What's that?
Run off tackle.
Right. Now that can all be mitigated.
I want to run at those. I want to run at those ends of yours. I want to see who they are.
That's because you want to get away from Jalen Carter. I mean, you don't want to let him run.
Right. Why would I punch a wall when maybe I could punch something I could put my hand through?
I just don't know who's blocking those guys in the middle. Dude. Even more with Jomo. I understand he only played for 350 or 350 snaps last year, and he might not be as proven of a guy, but that guy can rush a passer. Like, who's blocking him in the middle? I mean, I know people like Tyler Smith. I guess
that's why it's 5-step.
Tyler Smith is good guard. Apparently, they're going to give him an extension. You have Tyler Guyton on the outside. I don't really see. I think Cooper Beebe's their center. So I mean, he's a solid player.
Well,
but
Tyler Smith's an all-pro. I mean,
he's a good player. No, I know John likes him a lot too. I mean, he's a good player. But
well, like I said, quick passes stop that 5-step drops, 3-step drops. Rhythm passing. That's why, and here's why the matchup's good for Dallas. Well, if I'm going to be in a rhythm and I'm going to be rhythm throwing, what a better defense to throw it against in a zone. because you're off the ball. You're going to have space. It's just going to be – here's tonight's game, Xander. They're going to make plays. It's just going to be how much space and how much yards tonight that the Cowboys are going to gain on the Eagle defense. If you're giving up a ton of space and you're 15 yards, you're 10 yards off the ball, and you're giving up that underneath to George Pickens and the CD and the Turpin, they're going to find room to make it a game. See, the Cowboys they're going to make it a game if you're in this. Here's something I'll say to you, too. I saw the soundbite that went up over on our X account, over on JAKIB Sports, by the way. And I'll reiterate it again. Bro, when you got a lawnmower, lawnmowers don't give a shit if the grass is high or if the grass is low. They're a lawnmower. They run things over and mow the lawn. When you're a run offense like you run people over and you don't allow anybody to dictate anything on you.
I love that. By the way,
there is nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that was such a good take by you. I mean, what are you letting the game dictate how you play? Bullshit. You're too good for that.
Over.
Right. You're too good for that. You know, you're way too good for that, you know.
Why would I go like this, Xander? Hey, let me see what the defense – no, I'm going to show you what the defense is going to take, and they're going to like it. And that's what teams did a year. Do you not agree?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. So, in light of you having Michael Irvin on the show, everybody knew what the Dallas Cowboys were going to do with Troy Aikman and Emmett and Michael Irvin. They didn't give a shit if you knew. They were going to do it anyway until you could stop it. You know, so you're right about that. And by the way, the other thing I was thinking about that I forgot to mention with the guard conversation in the interior. All right, line Moro Ojomo up on Tyler Smith, and he gets mitigated.
Okay.
You got who? Who's that rookie they drafted? Tyler Booker, I think, from Alabama. Booker. So he's taking over for Zach Martin. Him on Jalen Carter, I don't know. I'm an Alabama guy. I don't know about that. So
that's gonna be a rough one.
That's good. That's where I think if you're the Cowboys, you got to bring help. With the run with running backs to help protect there, and you got to do what you can. But I think that's where the Eagles have the advantage in the interior.
Yeah, and this is what I'd be telling that kid too. Shut your hole, kid. Don't be making my life tougher on me.
Yeah, right.
Okay, shut your hole here, man. You're talking about a guy who's an animal. Okay, I got to ask you this. By the way, all super chats we'll read at the end here. Howard Eskin's with us at the bottom of the hour. I'm glad you did this now instead of later, Xander.
Yeah, I only got 20 or 25 here, so because I'm preparing for everything tonight.
Hey, man. So who was Howie going to trade?
I don't know.
Michael Parsons.
I would have done it.
Who was he going to trade?
Well, I think you're right with who you said. I mean, I think it was the Cowboys. Jerry made it very clear that he didn't want another end in return. So I saw a couple people putting out, "Oh, would you have sent Nolan Smith?" I don't think they wanted Nolan Smith.
No, they wanted tackles.
They want interior. I think they maybe would have taken Moro Ojomo, or maybe because he's a pass rusher, maybe not him. Maybe they would have wanted to look for Jordan Davis. Yeah, Jordan Davis. Now 2 1s, Davis 2 1s and $47 million. Shit,
awful big.
I like Michael Parsons a lot, but
not that much.
That's a kind of move that if it doesn't work out, you blow your whole thing up, man. You blow up this whole entire build that the Eagles have gone through. And they built this team through the draft largely. So
ask yourself this: what does that defense need more, run stopper or pass rusher?
Our defense or their defense?
Your defense.
Well, our defense could use a pass rusher because of their good in the run, but
you didn't need one a year ago.
I know. Milton wasn't great against the run. So, I mean, we still have good – look, we got a good run defense. We got Jordan Davis. He's pretty good at it. Jalen Carter's not bad at it at all.
Dude, they're not pretty good. They're really good at it. Both of them are really good at stopping the run. Yeah, I think they looked at it at the end of the day. Because look what happens when you take Jordan Davis off that team. Say you did make that deal, right? Who are you going to elevate? That kid Young or Gabe Hall for the first game of the season? Fuck, that's not good enough, dude. And that might affect the play of Campbell, might affect the play of Braun. That might even affect the play of your safeties, because what were you a year ago? Look how dominant you were a year ago. Dean, the triangle, and your safety play with CJ and with Reed. I mean, dude, you were strong as shit up the middle. You want to put that integrity on the line by getting blown off the ball in the game against the Cowboys?
I will say this,
that out.
I will say this. Schefter, and I don't know what it make of it what you will. Schefter was on ESPN today after he put that tweet out, and he said, now he did use the word think, but he thinks the Eagles offered a bigger package than the Green Bay Packers did. So knowing what the Packers sent, what would that look like? Maybe it was an extra pick. Maybe it was a mid-round pick. I don't know.
I can't think it's an extra player.
I don't think it would be an extra player.
And I
but
don't think it's
does that mean, though, that Jordan Davis was already involved or offered? I don't know. There's no confirmation on it. So I'm speculating. But if you're telling me, or Schefter's telling me, hey, he thinks the Eagles offered a better package than the Packers, Jerry just didn't want to send him to the defending Super Bowl champions.
I'll ask Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what was offered. That's an interesting conversation to have.
I'll ask Michael and see if he'll tell me if I can. I'm sure he doesn't know now, but I'll ask him to ask Jerry tonight because he's going to talk to Jerry tonight. So I'll ask him.
He was great, man, today, Michael Irvin.
Man, dude, isn't it crazy? We've known each other since we were 18 years old.
That's crazy.
Fucking psycho, right? He is one of my very good friends. I mean, like that's a friend of mine. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's
cool moment. You've had him on, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now, probably.
Come on, he goes like this anytime. Yep, 4 or 5 times.
That was the hardest part with those guys. People don't understand when Sileo's like, hey, you're supposed to. You don't understand these guys, everybody.
He's like Iverson.
They're tough to track down, man. These people are tough to, even when they tell you they're going to come.
Even great friends.
It's not even personal, man. These guys have like 3 different phones. They don't know how to click links. It's a chaos. So
and Sanders sent them like the link 10 times. Hey, send me the link. I'm going like, I got it. Believe me, I start laughing.
And then I put Sileo link, arrow up, pointing at the link.
Hey, dude, what do you think of Dak tonight?
I think Dak is actually one of their strengths. I mean, let's be real. Dak can throw the ball well. I mean, he wasn't in there last year, so I do think there's a fair question to wonder, how does that quarterback look? What's he, 30, 31 years old now? 31. Probably 31. I mean, how's he look after the injury? He missed a lot of time last year, so this is kind of he might have some rust, but apparently, we had John Machota on earlier in the week who covers the Cowboys for The Athletic. We had him on Birds 365, and he said Dak has looked really good in training camp and had great chemistry with both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So I think Dak is one of their strengths in the game tonight. And the way to slow him down is what we talked about earlier. Get pressure up the middle, set the edges, take away their running game, and force him to get rid of the ball quick. That's why Cooper DeJean is so key. If he can manage those short throws, those quick throws, and you get pressure on Dak Prescott, they're going to have a hard time running their offense tonight. I mean, they're going to have a really hard time because I think Vic Fangio is just dropping the 2 back and isn't going to let you beat him over the top with George Pickens or Kevontae Turpin. So I think the game plan is simple from that regard. But look, you've got a factor for Dak. I'm not, I love Philly 500, but I think it's, Philly's a little hard on Dak. Dak can play. Dak struggles in the playoffs yet, but this isn't the playoffs, man. This is week 1 of the regular season. Right. This guys can pass the football. So you got to try and mitigate it the best you can. But I don't think he has. I don't think he has enough around him to really, get going the way he wants to get going.
Again, so much has to play out, okay? I mean, for the Cowboys to have this a 4th quarter. What do you make of Kevin Petula versus Matt Eberflus?
Well, I think advantage to the Eberflus because of the experience and obviously how long he's been around the league. Now, the one advantage there for the Eagles is that I think they have a lot of history with Eberflus. Sirianni's coached with them for many years, so they know each other well, and maybe that gives you a little bit of an inkling on what their tendencies are going to be or some of those things. But I think it's advantage Eberflus there. But, the beauty of being new is this, ready? How do you game plan for Petula when you don't know what he's going to do? You've never seen him call a play. The unknown can go 2 ways. He can fall flat and not be as good, or he can use that to his advantage and say, Eberflus has no idea what I'm going to do, and you can kind of make hay with that because nobody knows. Nobody has tape on you. Nobody knows what to expect. Now, I think the Eagles' offense supersedes Kevin Petula, in a sense where how much does he
right there, what you're saying right there, because I'm gonna turn what you just said inside out and go like this way. Well, because I don't know who he is, I'm more convinced they're going to do what they did a year ago. Because why would you change it? Why? Because this guy wants to make a fucking statement? I don't care about that. I want them winning. Like you said, this game today, win the game. I don't care if it's by 1 or 2. Go run the ball. If that kid has less than 25 carries, Barkley, why would you do that?
Well, I don't know how much. I mean, I don't know. I think you'll have a good perspective on this as a former player, but how much stock do you put? It's week 1. We talked about this. Like
that's right. You want to make it simple.
Yeah, sustainability, though. You're coming off a year where you had 450 rushing attempts for Saquon Barkley. Do you want to go that route, or do you want to try and create a more balanced offensive attack early? And if you have to, it's always in your arsenal, right? Like, I'd rather start up here and dumb it down a little bit if I have to, than come out of the gate
for the
playing.
preseason, though, for you to be
Well, they don't play preseason.
So you want to do that in the opener against the Cowboys? You want to figure it out?
They did it last year.
Yeah, that's right. And they started 2-2.
Yeah.
And then they decided to go like this. We got to run the ball. So we're going to
but it might have been a blessing last year. I mean, they might not have gone on to win the Super Bowl if they came in with that approach.
No, they wouldn't have, but they did.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Also, what do you think? I mean, do you think they can do that again this year? Like, I think they can in theory, but they did go against everything that the modern NFL has built to become.
I don't think they could stop. I don't think there's a team. I think the Bucs with Vita Vea. I know that the Rams tried to improve. Dude, the Rams improved their defensive tackle play. Why? Because they got ran over by you.
Yeah.
They added that kid, that D tackle kid from Seattle. They put him in the middle.
Yeah, they got Puna Ford, right? Is that
That's right, Puna Ford. They got his ass because they did that because they got ran over.
Right. Right.
So
no, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I just don't know. I mean, part of me questions whether, while I believe you and I agree with you that they have everything they need in the stable to do that again successfully, part of me does wonder, and it's just a natural human thought of like, can they do what nobody is doing in the modern NFL for a second straight year? Is nobody going to adjust? Is Barkley going to be able to run 900 carries in 2 years all the way to another Super Bowl? Part of me says, well, you have to evolve a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit, you got to evolve a little bit. You got to become a little bit more balanced. You got to rely on your receivers. I mean, I predicted this morning that A.J. Brown has a massive year this year because I think, just like you say to me, Sills, you have Saquon Barkley, run the ball. That's how I feel about A.J. Brown. You have A.J. Brown, throw the ball to him, put him on a slant route, get him the football. You get him the football, good things happen. So I'd like to see a little bit more balance. Maybe you're right, though. Maybe they don't need to.
Here, I'm going to give you. We're going to go to Howard soon. So I want to throw this at you, though. We've had George Foreman on this program when he was alive. I brought it up yesterday, right? George Foreman evolving, bro. He knocked 69 guys out the same way every fight. He's the greatest knockout guy of all time, and he's knocked everyone out. He didn't evolve into anything except being the greatest knockout guy. When you have the hammer, you're not looking to put a feather in your hand. You want it. I'm not looking. You know what? Balance. If I can run you over like a lawnmower, I'm going to run you over like a lawnmower, dude. I'm not going to sit there and want to get into a pillow fight with you because I want to be balanced.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Especially early in the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Let's get to some of these supers before we go to Howard Eskin here.
Abe says they offered Sirianni for Micah. I don't think they offered that. Eagles score over Longhorns and shit on their heads. That's funny. Christopher Michael says, so with it being confirmed Howie made a big push for Parsons, do y'all think that the coaches and Howie aren't confident in our current defensive ends? I don't know, Christopher. You take a look at those guys. You got Uche and Ojulari as your 3 and your 4. And you got Jalix Hunt, who I love his upside and his potential. I mean, the guy's got he was a safety at an Ivy League 3 years ago. I mean, you want to go and compete for a Super Bowl. I don't know if that's who you want to be your second edge. Now, I feel like they're going to develop, but wouldn't surprise me at all if Howie was looking at it.
Well, now that's been confirmed. I mean, Now remember something, too. He's not just trading for a normal edge. This is the second best guy in the game. So, I mean, he likes his players. Because we're talking about Michael Parsons. Dude, when you're going Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith, and then you go, well, I want to trade him for Bob Smith, and we're going to put Bob Smith in there. That's a different story. We're talking Michael Parsons here, right? We're like Myles Garrett kind of stuff.
One more, two more. Wayne the Pain, look at this. I don't know if you got this, but he sent this when Michael Irvin was on today. He says, I was at the 87 game at FSU when both teams were going for the chip. Mike caught that late 74-yard touchdown to steal the win. True dagger stuff. That's good intel. Wayne the Pain has a lot of great intel. Hey,
Wayne, let me put it to you this way. 74 guys were on the field that day that got drafted in the top 3 rounds. Because all the years, 4 or 5 years, 74 guys were drafted between those two teams. Okay. I mean, all of us.
That's pretty incredible. Good stuff, Wayne. Last one here. Nick says, so hyped for tonight, tuning in at 1 a.m. from the UK. Look at that. A lot of international fans here on JAKIB Sports.
So let me guess. Are you having that cold dick? That's kind of a delicacy that they have there, Xander. It's
Wait, so you picked the Birds, right, to win? I'm going
31. I got 31-21.
Yeah, me and you were pretty close. I went 31-17. I don't know how well the Cowboys are going to be able to move the football in this game. So I picked 31-17. We'll see what happens.
I had to send Michael Irvin a text because I said, Howard's getting pissed off at you because you're blowing him off. He goes,
yeah.
I'm not.
All right, brother, I got to run, all right?
Bro, I appreciate it. I'll see you on the pregame. Yeah, so Michael texts me back. He goes, why is Howard mad at me? I said, he's going to start talking, on you in Philly now. So you better get on his show. He goes, I love the guy. I mean, yeah, I'm Junior Howard. Him and Angelo, man. These guys are like my father. Okay. But I do like it this way too, because both these guys are it's like seesaw. So it's good. It teaches me a lot, especially these guys are educating me more and more on Philly. All right. With all that being said, so tonight, Cowboys and Eagles. Can you imagine Howard Eskin right now? Man, WIP, you are so losers, man. Guys, 39 years, man. How do you not have him on the air tonight barking at the Cowboys, barking at all the Cowboy fans? Let's bring him up now, man. We're privileged to have him here. That's for damn sure. I mean, my God almighty, tonight's made for you.
Well, regardless of that, they don't, they are what they are. They just are, financially, they got real serious issues. They're still in debt. So, listen, even if they paid me, 50 cents, that's 50 cents more that they would be in debt. So whatever. Hey, listen, they're going to do what they're going to do. They don't care because they think by having the Eagles, everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be great. Well, whatever. I can't worry about them. The problem is the management's just trying to save their ass. So they just do what they do. I got to move on. I got
to ask you though, man. I mean, tonight. Okay, I mean, Cowboys and Eagles tonight. Your boy, and I got. Let's see if you and me go back and forth on this. So here's Nick Sirianni and his dopey ass. I didn't know this banner night. I didn't know idea. It's banner night? Really? Come on, Nick. You're not talking to bumpkins in Nashville. You're talking to Eagle fans. You know it's banner night.
Okay,
why so not transparent with it?
I put it out there on social media that I said, first of all, he says, I didn't know it was banner night, but then he says, our players are not going to be out there. So you did or you didn't know. So if you've already made a point that your players aren't going to be out there, then you had to know it was banner night. Here's what should have been said. He says it's a shame. He's got a great personality. And I think he's a very good coach, but he's getting bad PR advice. So, he's just got to say, listen, I understand that this is really, really exciting for the fans, but I don't want our players to get caught up in that. So just understand, I don't want our players to get caught up in all the celebration of last year because we're starting a new season. But I hope the fans really enjoy it. It's a great moment for them. But as a team and as a team and our players, we can't think about that. We got to think forward. And that's all you say. Hey, listen, I know it was there, but I can't get caught up in that. I had Seth Joyner, what is today, Thursday?
Yeah,
I had Seth Joyner on last night, and I made him a bet. He said, well, the players are going to be out there. Jeffrey Lurie's going to make sure the players are out there. I said, nope.
No way.
I'm telling you, the coach has the final say, not the owner. And some people in their comments, when I mentioned it on social media, said, we want to enjoy it with the players. And they're right. They do want to enjoy that moment with the players. And I bet him $1 for charity. So I'll give you 100 to 1 that the players will be out there when they drop the banner. I said, okay, you're on.
I'm with you, Howard. No way, man. I mean,
once he said that, he's going to stick by that. And I'm going to tell you what he's going to say after the game. Nick, the players weren't out there for the banner drop. And the fans obviously would have appreciated it. Can you give me a good reason why the players weren't? That should be a question. I don't know if these guys will ask. That should be a question. And if that question is asked, and who knows with this media now, if that question is asked, he'll say, listen, it would have been too much standing around, and I didn't want our players to stand around after the pregame warm-ups. So we made sure that we kind of just got together as a team in the locker room. That's what he's going to say. He's going to poo-poo it, and he's going to make an excuse. That's all. I mean,
I'm with you, man. This was for, I mean, like I said, I mean, this is really like a closure of what you did in 24. Tonight's the closure and a new beginning all in one game. You get a chance to celebrate with your incredible fan base. You get to go like this. Now let's go kick Dallas's ass. I mean, you know, these are men. These are not 18-year-old children. I mean, and the stuff, hey, Howard, this also is kind of rubbing me wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it too wrong here, but he goes, we're not allowed to say repeat. I mean, what the hell is going on here, man? These are not 15-year-old children. These are men.
When you're playing a game, you are thinking about that game,
right,
and the player in front of you,
right,
where you're guarding, or the defense that the quarterback's looking at. You're not worried about, you know, they were saying that all through camp. We're not defending champions. Well, all right, if you're not the defending champions, can you tell me who in the NFL is the defending champion? I mean, can you give me a hint? Who is defending? Well, it's not us. Well, then who is it? You have to have a defending champion.
Is this the owner, or is this the owner,
No.
or is this the PR department?
It's a combination of Nick Sirianni's philosophy and the PR department. The PR department and the guy that works with him tells him everything not to say. And it's just, there's enough already. You know, let him just be himself. A coach can handle himself. And whatever he says, it's only going to last. It's only got a 24-hour cycle with social media now anyway.
That's right.
I don't even get it. Just let it go. Just let him say what he's got to say. You know, for instance, who are your starting? Who's your starting corners? Well, we know Quinyon Mitchell is going to start at one corner, but he can't say on Tuesday was the last time he spoke. And they always make sure he speaks before practice, because after practice, you're not really having any more practices before the game after the last time he speaks. So it's cute that they have him speak before practice. I think some teams have the coach speak after practice, but whatever. It's probably been the way with the Eagles for a while, and I can't remember all the different coaches. But the reality is you can't tell people what do you think that's telling who the other starting cornerback would be. The other, you think that's an advantage for the other team? No. And you've already told your team who's going to start. You've told the player, hey, listen, if you don't know, and he pretty much said he did know. So why can't you tell people? Like, what's the reason for that? Now, I think that's more Nick Sirianni, but just say, hey, listen, here, and I'll tell you what. Before he says, well, you all know on Thursday. Well, people know before that, because you got to put out the depth chart for gambling reasons for the sports books. You got to put out the depth chart for the printer, because you got to get, I call them the flip card, speed card, whatever you call them these days. Yeah. You got to put that all out. So that got to be submitted on Tuesday. They print it on Wednesday to distribute to the media before the game. Somebody already know. And if you go to the Eagles website, they were really cute. I checked it just to see. They have, it's a new kind of defense. It's 12 players. They have 2 people listed at one of the starting corner spots. They have 2 people listed.
I mean, you know what? If it was Deion Sanders out there instead of a Dory Jackson or Jacorian Bennett, I mean, I'd be like, wow, okay, Deion's not playing. I'm sure the Cowboys are really dying because Bennett's out there, or those dudes are out there. Howard, I got one more question before we get into tonight's game. Do you think that the Eagles are now passing out talking points to some people in the media?
Passing out what?
Talking points.
Talking points. They're trying to get them to say what they want them to say.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes.
Yeah, it's just they're trying to manipulate, and some of the media, I believe, is manipulated
Yeah.
into that just to be a nice guy. It's not going to get you any
No,
any
you
gold
can tell on the
stars.
air.
It's not.
Howard, you can tell on the air when you're listening to some people. You can hear talking points.
Well, and here's the other thing. You'll tell some of the writers who, it's too bad. I mean, years ago I used to read the newspaper every day. I can't remember the last time I really read. I went and then read a newspaper. If I walk into, and in this area here, whatever, the convenience stores, and I'll look at the paper, I want to see what the headline is on the back page and the headline on the front page, and then I don't even bother reading it after that. And then I don't even go in there every day. So I don't know, but they're trying to manipulate the writers who are basically, it's sad. And I really say it's sad. It's about more jobs that are being lost. They're losing jobs. And then a lot of those writers go to that podcast site in Philadelphia. Yep. And it's just, they were writers. I don't think they're broadcasters. I mean, it's just, you got to have some fun.
Very rarely do you see that transition there. All right. So before we go into the game, more into it, what do you make of that? Howie Roseman contacted the Dallas Cowboys, and we just had Michael Irvin on, and I taped him. I sent him a text message, and I said, who was involved in that? And he said 2 1s and Jordan Davis. And Howie balked at that, and Jerry said it never came to fruition. But
who was it in Jordan Davis? What did he say?
It was Jordan Davis and 2 1s for Michael Parsons.
Well, that's not a better deal than the Green Bay.
See, I don't need. I think you don't think Jordan Davis is better than Clark?
I think he is, but he's on the last year of his contract, so you got to figure that. You got to factor that into it as well.
And then he's got 47 large into it too.
And then, yeah. Well, that the Eagles, the players. Okay, so if that was the case, I don't believe that. But did the Eagles talk to the Cowboys? I'm sure they did. I mean, they're just doing their job.
Schefter reported that Howie Roseman contacted the Philadelphia Eagles trying to pursue a trade for Michael Parsons.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah,
yes.
But it's a search. It's a searching mission more than anything else.
Now,
what do we need?
Because you're looking at the price tag for what you're going to be paying.
But look at all the players that the Eagles have to sign. Okay, Jordan Davis on the last year, so you either sign him or you're going to let him go. And if you let him go, you're probably going to get a 3rd round pick. All right. So, and if he has a good year, and when guys play for a contract, they have a better year. So then you also have, all right, so now you have Jalen Carter you got to sign, right? In a year, you probably got to sign Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. And then there's other players. I forget who the other players are that you're going to have to sign too.
Nolan Smith, you're going to have to address him. By the way, Reed Blankenship is due a contract now. Supposedly, you see what he did. He went and got David Mulgety, Michael Parsons' agent. That tells you that I think the Eagles offered him a below market value deal like they did Milton. He signed a new agent. Must not have liked the way the negotiations were going. And it looks to me like he's betting on himself.
Yeah, and I don't see why a player shouldn't do that because you're going to get more if you bet on yourself. The Eagles try to sign players early to save a little bit of money. Now they get a lot of money. I'm so tired of players. Well, I'm trying to get a contract for me and my family. Your family can't live on 50. When you're talking about certain linemen, your family can't live on 50. Let's say certain offensive linemen have guarantees of $60 million.
Yeah,
your family can't live on $60 million. And you're going to make more in the outside world if you're playing really well. And if you're young enough, you're going to get another contract, whether it's that kind of money or not. So I'm so tired of hearing that. But did the Eagles investigate the possibility? I'm sure. I'm not a Micah Parsons fan.
I think he's overhyped. And I made this point, Howard. I made this point about edge rushers. So I looked at the last 10. I looked at the top 10 highest paid edge rushers, and the only guy that was in that list that ever made a Super Bowl was Nick Bosa. The rest of them have all been on football teams that are nowhere near. All the 40 million, all the $30 million guys are nowhere near going to a Super Bowl. And I said the interior defensive tackles now, Chris Jones, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, Aaron Donald, Vince Wilfork. These are the last 10 Super Bowl guys. Avita Vea. They were all the internal guys, not the external guys. And one thing I learned about your Eagles a year ago, you didn't have any guys with a 10 sack year. Your guys were at 7.5, 8.5, 6.5 sacks. They set the edge well. And I don't know, man, you proved that you don't need a high-flying edge rusher at $40 million to win a Super Bowl.
Well, for a change, Jerry Jones is right.
He is.
He wasn't a good run stopper.
Right.
And against the Eagles, if that's that's the team that you've got to beat out, and you can't stop the run, you're sunk. Micah Parsons was almost irrelevant in all the games he played against the Eagles.
He was.
Because if they run the ball, and that's what they do, he's going to be irrelevant. A lot of these players get money because of sacks. Who was the guy for the Eagles? It goes way back to what they called the Dream Team. That Vince Young called him the Dream Team.
Curse?
No, it wasn't Curse. It was another guy that all he cared about was sacks. Oh my gosh, he wasn't here very long, but he was.
Kerrigan?
No, I'm telling you, I'll remember it at some point. And somebody on your chat may.
Babin?
Who?
Babin?
Babin. That's it. Jason Babin. Jason Babin only cared about sacks, and it got him money with the Eagles, but then it didn't get him money anywhere else because he couldn't do anything else. He just wanted to get to the quarterback. That's not always the way. You got to put pressure on the quarterback, but you got to be able to stop the run with certain teams, and the Eagles are one of those teams. Saquon Barkley is going to run the football, and that's why I know you pointed up earlier. The numbers, the passing numbers don't mean anything as long as you have Saquon Barkley having the success that he has. He's not going to rush for 2,000 yards this year, but I still think he's going to have a good year. And as long as he can run the football, Jalen Hurts won't have to throw the ball more than 21 to 23 times. And that's kind of the number that the coaches look at.
What do you see tonight, Howard? How are you feeling about tonight? It's 8.5 tonight. The Eagles are favored tonight going into this ball game. I mean, I say this about September all the time. September's a liar in football. You look at last year. New Orleans was 3-0. Everyone was like, "Oh my God!" And the Eagles were 2-2, and you're like, the coach should go. I mean, none of those turned out to be true. The Saints weren't good. The Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl. So September's a liar. So that's what you have going into this game tonight. For you, how do you see this thing playing out?
Well, I don't think it's going to be – I don't know how much the starters played for Dallas, but none of the starters played for the Eagles. So I don't care what you do in practice. I don't care about your joint practice for 2 days because you still can't tackle to the ground. The quarterback's never going to get sacked. So I don't think it could be their best game. I think the Eagles will win the game.
Sloppy tonight?
Well, I think it'll be tighter than people in Philadelphia think it's going to be. I think it'll be a close game. There's no way. I wouldn't bet the game. I don't like laying 8.5. I just think that's too big a number for this game. I don't like laying 8.5. Hey, they may. If anything, I like the under, thinking they're going to play it a little closer to the vest because it'll be a little tighter. The Eagles obviously are going to run the football. And they got to get ahead. Otherwise, then all bets are off. But I just think the Eagles will win the game. But I would not lay the 8.5. I just wouldn't do it because they're not at their best.
It's 47.5 right now, over under. What do you think on that? You think you're looking at under on that?
Under, and it's hard. It's always hard to take the under. The over, you're never out of the game. That's the way the bettors look at it. You're never out of the game. Even if it's 17-10 in the fourth quarter, you never know. And turnovers could change the total too. And the Eagles just don't turn the ball over. So that's another part of it too. I'm not a Dak Prescott fan, but I just think it's going to be tighter because everybody just thinks the Eagles, oh, this is easy. There's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout. It really, truly is amazing. I used something on my show last night. I used AI to ask questions. And what I did is, because the concessions at the Eagles games are triple what it is in Baltimore and it is in Atlanta. It's more than triple in a lot of cases. So I asked her, I asked her after the
AI
show.
Her? Okay.
AI's a her. I'll tell you what. Do you have a question? Do you have a question? I'm going to use this on my show from now on. Do you have a question that I could ask her?
Okay. How many yards is Saquon Barkley going to run for tonight?
Okay. How many yards do you think the Eagles running back Saquon Barkley will run for against the Dallas Cowboys in tonight's game?
Okay. I'd say around 100 rushing yards for Saquon Barkley tonight.
I had
He had 2 games against Dallas last year, totaling 233 yards, and the Cowboys' run defense was pretty leaky. If the Eagles lean on him, he could top that. But I think 100 is a solid guess.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute. I want to do one more. Hang on. I want to do another one more.
Okay. I asked her what the score. By the way, hot dogs in Atlanta are $2, right? Here it's like $8. Okay. So anyway, I asked her after the show. I didn't do this on the show. I said, what do you think is going to happen in the Eagles-Dallas game? She said 34-17. I said, I don't think it's going to be that easy. She said, okay, 27-24. And I said, all right, let's bet. She says, all right, let's bet a hot dog from Atlanta.
Wow. Hey, Howard said she sounds like somebody that would be a co-host with you nowadays.
Hey, nowadays, she could be better than half the people on the air.
I know. Ask this one. Okay. How many receiving yards will A.J. Brown have tonight?
How many receiving yards do you think A.J. Brown will have tonight for the Eagles against the Cowboys?
I'd bet on about 90 yards for A.J. Brown. He's coming off a 296-yard season finale last year against Dallas, but the Cowboys' defense might tighten up at home. He's still Jalen Hurts' go-to guy, so I wouldn't count him out for a big night.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me what you think the score of the Eagles-Dallas game is going to be tonight?
I'd go with Eagles 28, Cowboys 14. Philly's defense is stacked, and with Parsons gone, Dallas might struggle. Hurts and Barkley could feast, but don't expect a blowout. The Cowboys always keep it interesting.
Shit, we're out of a gig.
I'm telling you, she's my new go-to for questions.
Holy cow, man. That is absolutely fabulous. What do you have tonight? What do you have as a sport tonight?
You know what? I think 21 would be 3 touchdowns. There's going to be field goals. So it won't be 21. I'll say, I'd say 20-17 Eagles.
Wow. You think that low and that close?
Yeah. That's 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
This is what Dallas wants then. This is a fourth quarter game.
Yeah. TV wants it too.
Yeah, well, you bet TV wants it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just I'm just trying to think of another question for my girl here.
Wait, how many yards will Jalen Hurts have tonight?
Okay. How many passing yards, will Jalen Hurts have tonight against the Cowboys?
Probably around 250 yards passing for Jalen Hurts. He loves spreading the ball, and Dallas's secondary could give him some big plays. If he gets in rhythm, maybe even 300, but I'll stick with 250.
I don't think he's going to get 300, so I think you're a little exaggerated right there.
Fair enough. Let's say 220 yards then. He doesn't always throw deep, but if the Cowboys stack the box, he'll...
Holy cow, Howard Brown beating AI.
Isn't that great?
Wait, I got one last question for you, because we have a giveaway tonight. I think it's 275 yards for total offense for Jalen Hurts. Does he have 275 yards of total offense tonight?
Do you ask in total offense?
Total offense.
That means running and passing.
Yes.
Okay. Should I ask her?
Yeah, ask her. Ask her if he has, because we have doing a giveaway here.
Okay. How many total yards do you think Jalen Hurts will have tonight against the Cowboys? That includes passing and rushing.
280 total yards for Hurts. He's dual threat, so add maybe 30 rushing to the 250 passing I guessed earlier. If Dallas focuses on Barkley, that opens lanes for him.
Thanks very much for your help.
Yeah, you sound
Anytime. Help your Eagles pull through.
it. Oh my God, that's fantastic! What a great gimmick! Oh my God, man!
Hey, listen, I'm going to use it every show.
No doubt, I'm going to start implementing it, man. I love that, man. So we're doing a giveaway here for 200.
She's my girl. You got to get another girl.
Oh yeah,
She's my
okay.
girl.
Well, I'm not going to get a dude. I'll tell you that. I'll get another chick. So we're doing a giveaway for 275 here. So we're going to give a jersey away if you're a member here tonight. So
all right, I'm going to ask her another question because you were on this and we were on this. It's about Nick Sirianni. How do you like the fact that Nick Sirianni said he didn't know that it was a banner drop night? And what do you think is going to happen with the players?
It's kind of hilarious, right? I think Sirianni's just messing with us. Or maybe he's got laser focus on the game. As for the players, they'll stay in the locker room, keeping eyes forward. No distractions before facing Dallas. Eagles fans might love it or find it weird, but it'll fire up the team for that win.
God. Even she's goofing on him. Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah. There was a little laugh by her too.
I know, that little smirky laugh. Holy cow. Holy
Don't you love it? Don't you love it?
I love that, man. She even thought he was full of shit. Oh my God, man. Hey, a game like this, though, with Dallas, in a moment like this, Howard, you've seen them all. How big is this moment for the city, seeing that banner fall? Another championship. The Eagles are a civic pride football team in your city. They mean so much. I mean, again, as a football fan, as a sports fan, you guys have not really had any dynasties except for one. That was the Sixers. Or excuse me, that was the Flyers. So, I mean, how's this work here tonight for you?
Well, they're not a dynasty yet. You got to win multiple Super Bowls with this team. They won, what was it, in 2017? Yeah. Yep. So that was 8 years ago.
But they went to 1 and 22. So in the last 8 years, Howard, they've been to 3 of them. They've been to 3 and 1 too.
Yep. I saw the banner drop after Super Bowl 52, and it was a moment. And it's really a moment for the fans, and it gets them excited. The fact that Dallas is the opponent makes it better because then Jerry Jones has to watch the banner drop, and people are going to get off on that. Tell Michael Irvin to watch at the beginning, so he's got to watch the banner drop.
You know what he said? No, he goes like this. He said to everybody here, he goes, "I think the inevitable's coming." He's not feeling very good about tonight, man.
He wouldn't, because he knows that I'm not a Dak Prescott fan. It's
been 10 years.
I think he gets too much. Yeah,
Howard, he's going into his 10th year now. I mean, if not now, when?
Did he win? Has he ever won a playoff game?
I think he's got
one.
I think he's got 2.
You're right. 2 and 5. I think he's 2 and 5
He's
in the
like
playoffs.
2 and 5, something like that. How about this Jalen Hurts? Between him and Tony Romo in the last 18 years, between him and Romo, Hurts has double what they have in playoff wins, which is incredible.
Yeah, I just, I think, Michael, obviously, I thought the fans were real jerks and assholes for cheering when he was laying on the field after he got hit. That was disgraceful. It's just, he's a human being. He was a player. And you don't know whether he's paralyzed. You don't know anything. But so that was wrong. But hey, listen, I understand why they don't like the Cowboys, because if the Cowboys still think they're America's team, why are they America's team?
I don't. I'm like, hey, I don't get it. I mean, I think, the Netflix stuff and all that, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, the Cowboys are so not relevant right now. But you know what? Jerry makes them relevant. Tonight, He did. I think. Do you think he traded him because he wanted a storyline tonight? Because
I think he traded him because, first of all, when Micah Parsons
you said
says,
his ego. You said his ego.
yeah, well, he said I didn't really have control of that. Well, apparently, from what I understand, the Cowboys offered $41 million a year with more guaranteed money.
They did.
What do you mean? $41 million a year is not good enough? What do you mean? You did have control if you wanted to stay with the Cowboys. And there's somewhere along the way I read that when he was in high school, he was either high school or Penn State. He was a Cowboys fan. I don't believe that.
I think he's from Harrisburg. And
yeah, it's from the Philadelphia area.
Okay, yeah.
Why would he be a Cowboys fan?
Well, he said that again today. He made another comment today, and to me, this sounds like there's a disconnect between his agent and him because he said if the Cowboys even got close, well, you got to remember something about Wisconsin, Howard. How they've got state income tax. Texas doesn't. So you may be making 47 up there, but you put that state income tax up there, you're around 43. In Texas, you had 42 million that you were offered. Like you just said, they were in the room. I mean, you could easily have told your agent, I want to be made a Cowboy. Because
if he really wanted, if he had loyalty,
I don't believe him.
And he was
I don't believe him.
No, it was all about the ego of being the highest paid at that position. I mean, that's what Bryce Harper did when his agent, and it was his agent, signed him. And for 5 minutes, he was the highest paid until Mike Trout signed. So it's the ego. How much money can you spend in 4 lifetimes, let alone 1 lifetime, when you're making that kind of money? It's just, you have to be beyond stupid to lose all that money.
Michael said that. He said that ego on both sides, Jerry and Micah and agent, he said that all three just collided. And I'm like, yeah, well, guess what? One thing I give the Eagles credit for, and a bunch of things I give them credit for, they want to get to yes on their contracts, Howard. They want to get to yes on people they want to remain with them and the guys that they target, who they want. They try to get to yes. The stuff that Jerry goes around the room with this ring around the rosy with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott and this thing here that just went on, that's counterproductive. Look at all the free agents you miss. I mean, look at last year. They could have Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley or even Josh Jacobs, one of the greatest free agent markets in the history of running backs, and they didn't land on anything but a relic in bringing back Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, it's hard to pay a running back because the game kind of got away from the running game. Now it's kind of, there's ebbs and flows in everything, and certainly in sports. The running game's coming back, but if you get behind, you better not depend on that. You got to have a good defense because you can't get behind. Otherwise, your running game, I would think, for most teams, is irrelevant. So it's just whatever. It's more money than anybody could have ever imagined. And what's the difference? What's the difference between 40 million and 47 million?
You're talking peace of mind. You're like you said, look, hey, you could chase the bag of money, which I'm not begrudging anybody, but am I going to feel better going to Green Bay? I'm never going to live there when I'm done. If you've ever been to Green Bay, folks, I mean, you got to fly into Appleton, then you got to take a bus through people's homes and shit.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it is a tough place to get to. You're no way going to live there. And now, you move your family away to Green Bay. Dude, Green Bay is like the 288th biggest market in the country. You're not going there.
Well, if you're a football player, though, it's got history. So
no. I'm okay playing there, but I'm not living there.
No, you're not going to live there. But there's places that probably aren't that far away where you could live.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Chicago. Yeah. And so there's places like that. But I'm so tired of when we talk about players going places, it's about the money. Well, isn't it about your desire, number one, to go to a winner? Now, Green Bay is a winner, but to go to a winner, be happy with the area that you play in. I mean, there's other factors, the history of the team. Does anybody want to go to Carolina? I mean, Carolina's a great place to live, but I don't know that you want to go to Carolina.
I'm not playing for David Tepper. That's another story.
Now Miami, There's no state tax there, so you could go there.
Yeah.
The Dolphins probably won't be. Dolphins will probably be decent this year too.
Yeah, that you don't want to hear something. Chris Greer, the GM, and Chris Greer has not won a playoff game in 10 years as general manager. So they better do something down there. Howard, I want to give you a stat here. You said Green Bay. How about this number? In the last 34 years, 97% of the snaps at quarterback have been by three dudes: Favre, Rodgers, and Love. They get the QB thing right up there. You know, I mean, they get that thing 34 years, 97, almost 100% of the snaps are only by three guys in the last 4 decades. That's pretty impressive.
Well, to win, you have to have a quarterback. I don't care who your running back is. You still have to have a quarterback. And it's an important part of the game. How many teams have won a Super Bowl with an average quarterback? I would think Tampa with, what was it, Brad Johnson?
Yeah,
Brad Johnson. Dilfer. But there's not many others that I can think have won.
Foles average?
Yeah, but he didn't really get him there. I mean, they were 13. They had 13.
So they were
wins
11 when he went
with
down.
Wentz.
He was 11-2. I think Wentz was 11-2 when
Okay.
he went down in Los
And
Angeles.
without him, they don't get to.
They don't have home field advantage because the Eagles have never been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
not having had
the
championship game at home.
And he had that year. And against Atlanta, you know, some of the nitwit moron reporters asked Doug Peterson, you're thinking about who was the backup quarterback? Thinking about, oh my gosh, he just signed as a third string quarterback with somebody. Oh my gosh. But anyway, you think about starting instead of Nick Foles. And he said, absolutely not, because he didn't have a good game against Atlanta in the playoffs. So you can't. Nick Foles had one of the greatest games you'll ever see in a Super Bowl, but he never started all 16 games for any team in his NFL career. But he did a great job here for that Super Bowl.
Was that Nate Sudfeld that was the backup?
Yeah, Nate Sudfeld. That's what it was. Yeah,
thank you.
Nate
Go there. Very good. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Howard, so you got them winning tonight 20-17, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to text Michael Irvin for you, and I'm going to do everything I can to get him on. But remember something. He's like Iverson. Even Xander, because get this, getting him on today, he's one of my best friends. I mean, he's one of my 5 best friends, okay?
Yeah, and you got to worry about him being there, right?
Yeah. He's like Iverson. I told Iverson one time, I go, Alan, I'd love to have you on the program. He called me a month later on the same Tuesday, and I go, bro, yeah, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I got Alan Iverson here. I'm not going to not, because God knows when I'll get him again. See, he's kind of like that a little bit. So you got to kind of be flexible.
I know. There's certain guys.
Yep.
It's like, I'm going to rip LaShawn McCoy for a month now. Yeah, I'm good. You have my word. I'm good. And then he just pushes it off and pushes. And then he doesn't get back to you. And I'm working. I know his guy. But I know LaShawn, I've sent him messages directly. You know, he just blows you. Hey, listen, you're done. You're done. You're done. You know,
Howard closes the door on you. I'm done with you. It's over.
I'm done. You know, I'm done. Every once in a while, you try to do a favor for a guy, which I tried to help him with something. It doesn't matter. Listen, he gets along. He is what he is. He's not a bad guy, but he's not responsible enough in the world of the real people. And I don't think a lot of athletes are real people.
What did Seth say tonight about what did Seth say on your podcast? Make sure, folks, you go back and watch it. What did he say about the score tonight?
Oh, he thinks the Eagles are going to kill him. It's just, but whatever. He's usually not like that, but I guess he doesn't like the Cowboys, but he thinks it's going to be a big score. A 2+ score. 2+ score win.
Yeah, 8.5 is the line. Howard, we got to roll. Thank you, my friend. Let's do this again real soon.
Hey, wait a minute. Say goodbye to my girl too, my AI girl.
Okay. Honey, goodbye. I really like you a lot, and thank you for all the information you gave us on tonight's Eagles and Cowboys game.
I'll pass that along to her.
Hey, yeah, you make sure. Howard, thank you, my friend.
All right, I'll see you. Take care.
You got it. That is Howard. That is Howard Eskin, folks. I love it. Very good stuff. Make sure you check out his podcast. That's great having Seth on too last night. He gets such great people on. And I did text Michael. He goes, "Why is Howard mad at me?" I said, "Dude, he's not mad at you. He's disappointed." Okay. He goes, "Like you?" I go, "Yeah, exactly like me. I tell you to be there." And then, you know what? Get this, like today. So Michael says 3:30 to me. I go, 3:30 Eastern, right? I know he lives in Dallas and he's got a place in Miami. So I know this because I know him, right? I know he's 2:30. Mike, 3:30 Eastern. So he was like, "Okay, gotcha. Send me the link. I'm ready to roll." Oh, man, hell. It was really 2:30. Yeah, I know, Mike. You heard him when he came on. Yeah, I know. Man, I had to stop my workout. Oh, yeah. And I go, I know, Mike. I know. All right, let me pay some bills here. Big Sil's here for Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America, folks. With over $30 billion recovered, the number one injury law firm in America is there to defend you and your family. That's right. Anytime that you've been injured, anytime that you've been hurt, Morgan & Morgan and their team of thousands are going to be there to defend you and your family. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the number one digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats puts you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Show's hit the like button, freaks. Appreciate you coming aboard. Big Show today. Don't forget the pre and post game show. We and yours truly will be on that. We will talk tonight's game between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I gave you a little bit. We're going to reset here. I'm still hanging on 31-20. Did you hear Howard Eskin? He thinks it's more 2017 low scoring because that we're going to see a lot of sloppy football early. I think you're going to see a lot of sloppy football, most notably on the Eagle side. I know you think that they're going to come out humming, even though they haven't really practiced at all. And you guys think that the Eagle offense is going to be hitting on all cylinders. I don't believe that. I do believe they're going to pull away late, but I think that game's going to be close because I think there is going to be sloppy football at the beginning of this game. I mean, most NFL games are sloppy. How in the world the receivers haven't practiced at all? Seals Barkley at 25 against the Chiefs on 2.3 yards a carry, no offense to Matt. But you praise the Chiefs DC for whatever he claimed. He's won 4 fucking Super Bowls and beat you. What are you talking about? Seals Barkley at 25 against the Chiefs on 2.3 yards a carry. No offense to Matt. But you praise the Chiefs DC for whatever you claim he's so good at. Winning Super Bowls. He's won 4 of them. He's won 4. 4 Super Bowls. He's beat Belichick and the Eagles. Praising a guy for winning 4 Super Bowls. Yeah. Okay. You got me, Cody. Vic Fangio's won 1. He's won 4. 2 in New York, 2 in Kansas City. And he's got 3 AFC championship rings. Vic Fangio's nowhere near him in resume. Nowhere near him. 0. You think how can Vic Fangio be a better defensive coordinator than a guy with 5 AFC championship rings and 4 Super Bowl wins? How does that last I checked, 1 versus 4, 4 wins. 4 wins. I actually heard Spags wanted to draft DeJean. Well, he drafted the one guy that I wanted, and that was the McDuffie kid. I thought that kid coming out of Washington was a really good player. You guys hated him. Well, now he's an all-pro. Okay? Vic's defense demolished Mahomes and friends. 4 Super Bowl wins. End of story. Great, Sue. Great. And Spags won a Super Bowl against you and Jalen Hurts. Great. That's what good teams do. Last I checked, Spags has a Super Bowl ring at the expense of the Eagles too, doesn't he? I mean, right? Oh, you forgot his ring. How you doing, man? All right. Not demolished, though. Who gives a shit? If it's demolished, a W and an L are the same. Win, lose. But he didn't get demolished. Okay, he got demolished. Sure, congratulations to him. Way to go. In the one-loss column, you're still 1-1. But one looks better than the other. She must be talking about shoes. If Jalen Hurts holds the ball, we lose by 30. Oh, my God. We lose by 30. Come on, dog. Don't play asshole football. We win. Simple. Hey, Pump, what's asshole football? Help me out here. What's asshole football? Look at this here. Seals, the last 3 games against the Chiefs, how many times has Philly won? How many times has the Bucks won? Is that you want to go down that game? And the last 3 times, how many games has the Bucks destroyed you? 2, right? 2. Or no? How many times has the Buccaneers crushed you in the last 3 games? 2. All right. Let's play that game too. Right, Sean? Don't bring up the Bucks. Don't bring up the Bucks. Right? And Patrick Johnson. Who? Who's Patrick Johnson? Oh, yeah. Another one of your fabulous edge rushers. Asshole football takes sacks, fumbles, and throws to Diggs. Jalen Hurts special. Oh, Pump. Hey, Pump, wait a minute here. Are you thinking this is going to be a rough game tonight? Okay, Pump, do you think this is going to be a rough one tonight? Is that where you're going? Okay. Do you believe that this game tonight? Today you said Dak owns us and we will look rusty. But you picked the Eagles to win. I did. I think you're going to – all of that can be true, douchebag. Dak does own you. Will look rusty, yes. But you picked the Eagles to win. Congratulations. You can fairly listen. And you're playing it safe? Playing it safe? Bro, your football team's better. You want me to sit here and lie to you? This guy here is dumb. Seriously, this right here, there's a reason that, like, birth control was made. Here's your prime example of it with a take like that. This is why birth control is important in America. This guy right here. I mean, it's important. I don't remember what the score was in Super Bowl 22 in the 2022 Super Bowl. I do remember we lost, though. Tonight is going to be sloppy in the first half. Yes, I agree. I think it's going to be sloppy. They're still going to have too much of a football team. And for some people like the weirdo professor, because he can't be that much of a professor. The guy's a professor of imbeciles. Hey, Professor Imbecile, where are you? That's the new guy. Hey, that's your new name, Professor Imbecile. Professor Imbecile thinks that it won't be, sloppy. Come on, Professor Imbecile. Help me out here. Professor Imbecile. Jesus criminy. You got to kill me, man. Oh, no, the stadium crew accidentally dropped the banner early. No way. Is that true? Come on, Pump. Pump, did they drop the banner? Oh, my God, Nikki's going to go nuts. I can't believe it's banner night. I can't believe it. And you know what? None of our guys are going to be out there. Howard Eskin's right. Hey, Pump. It's banner night? What do you mean it's banner night? It's banner night? Oh, shit. What do you mean banner night? What's banner? Like Bruce Banner? What is banner night? What's banner night? I never heard of it. You drop the banner, you put another championship banner up there. A banner? I don't know what a banner is. Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't have any idea. I'm so focused on winning. None of our guys are going to be out there, though. I told them, you can't go out there, but I don't know what banner night is. All right. I guarantee you if the Eagles are healthy against the Bucs, I guarantee you, well, that's right. I forgot. that playoff game, I remember Jalen Hurts being in. They beat the shit out of you, too. Oh, wait, AJ, that's right. When A.J. Brown's not on the field, Jalen Hurts is 12, 20, and 1. You're right, Adam. Thank you for making that more effective and making sure that that statistic is even more so to hurt Jalen Hurts in a football game. You're right. When A.J. Brown's not on the field, he's 12, 20, and 1. Congratulations to you. He needs him or he'll lose. You're damn right, Adam. Way to go, kid. You just, without a doubt, just absolutely indicted your own quarterback. Holy cow. Oh, this just in. You ready? Adoree Jackson starting at corner tonight. Woo! Oh my God. The much guarded secret. The much guarded secret. Okay? Who? Adoree Jackson starting tonight. Yeah, wow. That was the secret of training camp. Man. Hey, okay? Right? Okay, right? Okay. Here, look at this here. Hey, Sills, you idiot. A.J. Brown makes everyone's job easier, including Barkley's. I know. It ain't the quarterback that makes his job easier. It's A.J. I know. Amen. Thank you. Love it. A.J. Without A.J., Hurts is 12, 20, and 1. Woo! Whew. Take that one. Sills, do you think the Eagles lose this, just to clarify, entirely not playing? What? Do you think Eagles lose this, just to clarify, entirely not playing? I'm not sure what that means, David. Do you think Eagles lose this, just to clarify, entirely not playing? Help me out on that one there. Just put the words back in there a little bit. Okay? AJ is so essential. Okay? He glazed Burrow last season because Burrow is fantastic. He's a tremendous quarterback. Glazing? Bro, I'm not the only one that does it. He's the best passing quarterback in pro football. End of story. Nobody's closing. Okay? So it's not a judgment against Hurts. It's a judgment against the entire team. When AJ is hurt, use your brain, Sileo. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Because it's really wormy. Let's go to David again here. Okay, that is on me. I was typing fast on my mobile. Got you. Sorry, just meant for clarity. Who is your pick? Because I missed what it is. Okay. 31-21, Philadelphia Eagles. I think the game's close early. I think Dak makes plays. I'm not sold that Landon Dickerson, with his 2 surgeries and his back problem, I do not believe he's 100% heading into this game. Dallas's tackles, not counting Kenny Clark, I think are pretty good. Okay? And I don't think you have a gigantic advantage like you think you do inside. Tyler Steen, you could give him all the kudos you want. I haven't seen that guy play good football yet. I think he's serviceable. I don't think he's great. As a matter of fact, between Isaac Seumalo, Cam Jurgens, and Mekhi Becton, I haven't seen that guy play better than those guys yet. And I've seen that guy on the football team for a couple of years, and he's not better than Isaac Seumalo. He's not that good. Now, you must have been saving that weapon after last year when he got beat out, when Mekhi Becton beat him out. You must be saving that weapon, JD3. You're cracking it out now, just like Keely Ringo and Uche Umeanchi and Adoree Ojelara. Right? Let's see here. I wanted to be sure I wasn't about to argue a point you didn't make. That's fair. I just think It may be even more of a blowout. It could be. I think it's going to be a little sloppy, though. I do. I think it's going to be a little sloppy, but I just don't think that the Cowboys haven't. Look, the stuff I said earlier about Dallas is going to move the chains. You don't have very good personnel at safety and corner. You do not. And if those edge rushers do not get pressure tonight, Dak's going to go 3-step, and he's going to find the open guy. Like I said, I don't believe that's still good enough. The tackles on the other side, I'm talking Dallas's tackles, they have to play an A-plus ball game inside. And if I'm the Cowboys, because I have a limited run game, I'm running right at Nolan Smith. I'm going to run the football right at him because I don't think he can hang on. I think he's an undersized ball player, and I don't think he's going to make 17 ball games this year. He's just not a durable guy. Looks like DeJean is returning. There you go. Brought this up months ago. Cooper DeJean returning punts. Great. Everyone told me he'd get hurt. I say it. No one cares. Now he's doing it. How you doing? You got the best punt returner in football now back there versus lesser talent. I love it. You're wrong. Big Sills, boom. How you doing? They put DeJean back there. I love it. Yes, sir. That's going to help. By the way, why else do you think they did this? Why else do you think they put Cooper DeJean at punt return? They're kind of concerned about their defense. They want to get good field position for their offense. So they may be concerned about that secondary a little more. So you're going to put a star player back there on special teams. Okay? And so that's also a little bit of an indictment on that defense in the secondary. Not the front, but the secondary. Honest question, Sells, take away the public interviews. Do you think this team looks motivated? Brian Pumper sees a lot of dudes with full bellies. I tell you what, let me ask you the question, Pump. You think Howie was focused on the roster this year or the roster next year? You can ask yourself that question. You think Howie Roseman was focused, especially with all the moves he's made lately? On 26, remember when I asked the question? You think he sacrificed 25 for 26 and 27? I think Howie was focused on the beer can that hit him in the head, that Bud Light beer can. I hit him right upside the head, made him fruity or something, or excuse me, loopy. Not fruity, and made him loopy. Sorry. He got hit with the Bud Light can, and it made him loopy. Not fruity. It made him loopy. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I get that right. You think Howie bought some of the DeJean cereal? Both Sills. If he wasn't, why would Howie put an offer together for Parsons? Okay? Okay. Well, wait a minute. He did put that deal together for Parsons because he wasn't happy with what he has. Okay? Howie wasn't as focused like last year. He lacked. Remember what he brought in last year? Flexing. Let me ask you this. Those moves that Roseman made a year ago with Barkley, Bond, and Becton, if he doesn't have those players on the team, do you win a Super Bowl? You've got to find a Becton, Bond, and Barkley this year, right? With the moves he made. right? They don't win a Super Bowl without those three men. There's no way. You're not winning a Super Bowl. If he doesn't make those three moves, they don't win a Super Bowl. I think by week 6, Howie makes a move on defense. Now, how about this, though? Probably week 6, most teams that have shit the bed may want to make a move. Like, let's say this. If the Bengals get out of the gate, and they get out of the gate, and they're 2-4, do they trade Hendrickson? Knowing full well at the end of the year he's gone? And would you sign that guy? He just signed for 33 or 35 million. He's going to want more. Remember, he paid for his freedom to be a free agent at the end of the year. Right? That's a risky trade, though, because that player's got 1 year left to go for Hendrickson. Unless you trade and sign. Or they sign a contract and trade. Something like that. Where you can guarantee, I'll take Trey Hendrickson at $35 million. I'm not taking Trey Hendrickson at 45. I'm not, no. 35, 17, 18 sacks, I'll take that. That's market value. Okay? And now draft picks, I'm not giving you a 1 for that either. I can't. I've got to pay the player, and he'll be half the way through the season. I'm not sure he's going to re-sign with me. Why would I'm not giving you a 1 or a 2 for that. No way. It's too risky. I'll give you a 1 for Trey Hendrickson at the trading deadline, right? I still got to sign the player to an extension, and the guy can walk out the door at the end of the year because he's a free agent. That's not worth it for me. I did. I got the text message back. Mike said it was a D tackle, one of the D tackles. I'm assuming it's Davis. Based off of what the trade was in Green Bay, it was Davis and 2 1s that Jerry fought. Okay, when Howie called, what would it take? And Michael said it's a DT and 2 1s. I can't believe that. Now, it's being reported that the Eagles offered more. Does that mean Jalen Carter? And Jerry just don't want to go in division? I don't know. That I can't get. Okay? You know what? I'm with you. I'm not that high on him. And the Walker thing, I'm with you. I think he's a good football player. Trayvon Walker is a guy, he's young, he's 24. He's got like 24 sacks in 3 years. He was the former number 1 overall pick. I like the player too. I think he's really good. They're not going to pay Josh Allen down there the money they're paying him and then turn around and pay him $35 to $40 million. They're just not going to do that. Not in Jacksonville. That guy is so traded in the offseason or at the trading deadline. Okay? I mean, depending on where Jacksonville is. If Jacksonville gets out, they got Carolina, I think, on Sunday. And if they get out of the gate and they play well, and Jacksonville looks like they could be a playoff team. Jacksonville's got talent on that team. They got it. See, I'm more like this. I'm not giving a 1 up for that. I'm not that. I don't have any interest in that. Hey, let me give you some draft picks. I still got to sign the player for $35 to $38 million. I got to sign Carter in March. So, yeah, no. By the way, we turned out to be right. There's no way they're giving Reed Blankenship a contract this year. Here we are. We're hours away. They're not dropping that now. Okay? They're waiting till March. And I don't blame them. They're waiting till March. Or they did offer him. Carter's not getting 48. Edge and tackle are two different positions. There's no way. That has no interest. That is zero. Moro Jomo has proven nothing. You want to trade a backup player of a year ago, 2 1s and a 3 for a backup player from Michael Parsons. Once again, you're not thinking rich enough. If you think highly of the player, you've got to give something highly up. Yeah. How about this? Reed's a good player. I'm not giving that guy $15 million. I have no interest in it. I have no interest. To me, he's a TJ Edwards. I think that's how they look at him. I think they're going to let him walk out the room. I think here's $9 million. 3 years, $9 million, $10 million maybe 10. And that's why he hired a new agent. You hire a new agent because why? The negotiation stalled. Your agent screwed up and undervalued you. You got pissed off at him. And when the contract came to his desk, I'm going to make a point to you. The day that Reed Blankenship announced that he had a new agent, I promise you, within that 24-hour window, there was a deal put on the table by the Eagles to him because they probably wanted something signed to go into tonight's game to show that they had signed Reed Blankenship and the Cowboys losing Micah. They wanted something good going in. When that contract got put on his desk, I guarantee you Reed probably freaked out and went $9 million. When market is probably 12.5, 13. You think that of me? I'm getting a new agent. He probably got so pissed at his agent for giving that deal to him and putting that deal in front of him that he fired that guy right there on the spot. 24 hours later, David Mulgety ends up getting the deal. Or he ends up getting the client. They're bringing high-powered guys in to negotiate with teams, not a team, multiple teams. Because if that was the case, you would have kept your agent. I'm only dealing with one team. When you bring in a new agent, your guy is going to start shopping your services. Or David Mulgety's already shopping his services around for March. And talking to the Eagles on the same time. And the Eagles are probably going like this. This is our number. Because if the number was close, Howie would have signed him. They would have signed him. 9, 11.5, they would have signed him. The numbers aren't close. Or he'd be signed for the next 2 years, 3 years with Philly. When you fire a guy as a player, you're not happy with what that deal was on the table. You got that for me? That's shit. Because get this, if he didn't like the deal, right, you could still keep the agent and go, yeah, well, I'm not going to keep that deal. Look at what Sweat did. Sweat kept Rosenhaus. I love your projection. Really gives us perspective. Yeah. I mean, well, when you hire agents, I've had a few, and you got a guy who just is not experienced enough, or, I mean, is working with the team. He got mad at the offer. All this time you've been working on a contract, and this is what you put on the table for me and my family? Not interested. Not interested. Now, here's the deal that he's gambling on. A year ago, he had CJ next to him. Now he's got 2 inexperienced guys next to him. You better hope that secondary doesn't fall apart. Because if that does, his contract falls apart. His contract will fall apart. And that Eagle contract could get pulled off the table. $9 million? You don't look like because in 2023, that dude did not look like a $9 million player. He looked like a guy that I'm going to move off of. I mean, honest to God, after the 2023 season, if I was the Philadelphia Eagles, I'd be like, that guy's not that good. I mean, you're on the 28th ranked defense, pass defense. I'm going to give you $15 million. Big Sills didn't need an agent. He told them, folks, what he needed, and then asked, how you doing? And actually, I had an agent, but thank you. I had Randy Fataha and Bob Wolf. And when those guys went in to negotiate, get this is what they did and how I knew. These guys have been after me for a long time. You guys, hey, Yale, do you remember the name Bob Wolf? Bob Wolf was the guy that was portrayed in that movie, Jerry Maguire, and a little bit of Lee Steinberg. But Bob Wolf, if you look at the guy's name on the desk, Bob Wolf was a big-time agent along with Randy Fataha. And so they're based in Boston. Bob Wolf had every major client, every major guy. So they came down to me my sophomore year at Miami. They go, we want to rep you. And I went like this. Jimmy was in the room. And I go, Coach, what do you think? He goes, these guys are the biggest guys in the building. I said, okay. So when my contract, and I went into the supplemental draft, I remember the Buccaneers had to use a 1988 pick. So they used the 56th pick on me. Okay? And I was a junior. So I had the Steelers, the Patriots. I still have a letter from the Patriots telling me how much they wanted to pay me. So I said, I want Jerome Brown's agent. I want Jerome Brown's contract. Jerome signed for $2.1 million with the Eagles with Norman Brayman's guys. He signed 2.1. Randy Fataha and those guys came back and they go, listen, it's 1.92. Jerome was the 9th player taken. This is a first-round salary. And I went like this. Okay. And they go, listen, you're going to get a nice signing bonus. You're going to make almost as much as Jerome in base. But you two guys are pretty much, it was like a $200,000 difference, $180,000 difference in the contract. And so I took it with my grandpa and I told my grandpa what I'm going to do. And he goes, you should sign it. So I did. Oh, I didn't really? That's great. I didn't know that. And my signing bonus, I was like $450,000 in 1987. So my contract was 1.92 and my signing bonus was like $425,000 and my base salary was $175,000, something like that. And Jerome had 190 or 180 and salary. And I think he got a $500,000 signing bonus. I was right there with Jerome. I was right there. I had a first round. They said that my contract was probably equivalent at the time to like the 13th player taken. So like it would have been the 13th player taken. Like 13th or 15th, something in there. Between 13 and 15, what my contract was worth. So, yeah. And by the way, you can go on NFLPA and see it. You can go in history of contracts. Okay? And you can see what guys have signed for. Yeah, no, it was, listen, it was a great deal. Absolutely. So, again, the agent, he's pissed off. Cooper DeJean is ticked that deal was put on the table. And not Cooper DeJean, excuse me. Reed Blankenship. That deal was put on the table. He went, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yep. Everything always goes back to the family, doesn't it? Just like Michael Irvin did today. Seriously, I actually got paid from the NFL, but the tech knows why more football than him. Let them tell him. Let them tell it. Actually got paid from Stills actually got paid from the NFL. I got it. But the chat knows it's all hey, I appreciate you, my friend. I know. I got a paycheck on the floor from the Lions for 10 grand. It was pretty cool. It was one of my bonuses for get this a roster bonus. I think I've showed you guys that. Yeah, I got a roster bonus check on the floor. A receipt from the Lions for 10 grand. All I had to do was on the active roster. They gave me 10 extra grand. It was crazy. Do you think there's a possibility that we'll renegotiate and give him? Yes, I do. Because Mulgetty will create more of a market for him. Yes. Okay? Yes. So with the new agent, David Mulgetty will go back and start negotiations all over again from scratch. Now, the problem is that the season started. Sills, who are you the most excited to see tonight? Campbell? No. Jalix Hunt. I want to see who he is. I want to see Nolan Smith. I don't believe those two guys are what you think they are. I want to be proven wrong tonight. Now, I don't believe that the Cowboys have a lot of talent in that old line, except for Smith, maybe a tackle, and I'm not saying Guyton. Okay? But I want to see those edge guys play like Josh Sweat and what Brandon Graham did a year ago. And to be fair, Nolan Smith did at the end of the season. I want to see Jalix Hunt tonight. You guys have crowned him. I've said good things about him. You guys have crowned him as the next thing. Okay? Well, we're hours away from finding that out. Sills Campbell might have 15 tackles. He's very active. Bro, Jahad Campbell's not having 15 tackles tonight. The other guy is. Bond's having 15 tackles. That's the guy who's going to play his ass off tonight. No. I think when you go from being a backup role guy who was put in a position and now you're going to be the centerpiece guy, Nolan Smith is the centerpiece edge rusher now. He's your Josh Sweat. He's got to play like Josh Sweat. You guys thought it was so easy to replace him. Well, tonight, let's see if he plays like Josh. Never comes off the field, sets the edge, plays with a great reckless abandon, and he does all the things that Josh Sweat did. Let's find out. Okay? Let's see if he can play like Josh Sweat. He's getting the majority of the reps. Hunt's getting the other ones on the other side. And let's see if those guys do that. Sills, are we downplaying Nolan? Yeah, he's small, but dude, it's not his ability now. It's his durability. He's already complaining about nagging shoulder injuries. Okay? I mean, it's going to be availability. Watch the safeties. Yes. Andrew Makuba and Sidney. Sidney is not a very good tackler, in my opinion. Okay? He is not. Okay? All right. Let me pay some bills here. Our friends at Morgan & Morgan, guys, #1 injury law firm in all of America. Over $30 billion recovered. Why? Because they win. Not only are they the number one injury law firm in America, they're the number one injury law firm on the planet. How's that for you? And it's because they win. Families across the country, they get injured. Morgan & Morgan goes in with their team of attorneys to make sure you and your family are well represented and taken care of. Insurance companies do not get over on Morgan & Morgan. They're undefeated, my friends, when it comes to helping you and your family. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Don't forget, pregame and postgame, yours truly will be on it. And if you want to follow me during the game, I'll be over at my social media page, my X account, at Dan Sileo Show. We'll be going and talking through the game as it goes on as well. So we'll be doing that. But 31-21, I'm not going to waver off that. I added an extra point. I think it will be close early, though, because it'll be ugly early. Okay? I do. I think it's going to be close. I don't, and the element of surprise that the Cowboys will have in this, I really don't know what they're going to throw at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are the Cowboys going to attack offensively? I mean, Are they? I mean, how are they going to create a running game? Is it going to be intermediate passing? Is it going to be short? Is it going to be Ferguson creating the short passing game? I don't know, because they need to have some type of run game in this ball game, in my opinion, for them to have a shot. Like I said earlier, I think the Cowboys have to play an A game to be in it. And the Eagles have to play like a B-, C+ game for the Cowboys to stay in this thing. So I think this is going to be a tall ask for Dallas. Is Miles Sanders really playing in this game too? Hey, get old Miles Sanders, man. What happened to that guy? He left that offensive line. Holy cow. This guy was like, he got thrown out of his house. And he went to Carolina, right? Now he's in Dallas. And that guy's actually going to carry the football a little bit for the Cowboys tonight. But on to me. 31-13, that's not a bad score, Wayne. Howard Eskin had 2017, and he took the under. Seals, the Cowboys have thrown for 500 yards to win. Have to throw for 500 yards to win. They're going to have to throw at least 50. Right, guys. Have a great one. We're here. Congratulations to Eagle fans, though. I want to say this. Banner is falling in your honor tonight. It's pretty cool. It's a great way to start the NFL season off with a great fan base. So we will catch you on the pregame and postgame tonight. And don't forget 2 to 6 tomorrow. We will catch you. And we'll see you on the flip side.